Welcome everyone to your strategic planning session. I'm so glad you're here. And it's difficult lately having all these online meetings. And so I appreciate that you're here, and I know that we're going to have a productive and hopefully a fun time together, rolling up our sleeves and making some really good progress on the strategic plan. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and share my screen. So give me just a moment here and just confirm with me you can see the presentation right now. Awesome.
Yes.
So yes. So my name is Gabrielli. It's my real name. And
I say it wrong every time. I'm so
okay.
sorry.
I answer to Gabriella. I just don't answer to Gabby. So all my Spanish friends call me Gabriella, and I don't have a problem with that at all.
Okay.
So no worries. Here's our kind of rolling agenda. So what I like to do is let you know that we want to dig deep. We want to get a lot done. And so this is a tentative agenda. Yeah, I grew up in the military, so it's 1,300 hours is when we're beginning. And the person with Kristen with the pilot husband, you probably write your time like this too. But our goal is to get through introductions, ground rules, and objectives pretty quickly. And then we're going to get into the mission, vision, values. And I added, I hope you don't mind, Allison, I added DEI statements because I'm seeing these more frequently, including on other of the how do you say, AHEC? Is that how you say?
Yes.
Yeah, other of the AHEC. Do you call yourselves affiliates, or what do you call yourselves?
So in Florida, we're the Florida AHEC network, sister networks, I call them, and when we're a part of a national organization.
Right. Yeah. So I know with other national organizations, they call their little ones at the other places, they call them affiliates or whatever. But anyway, I have lots of examples that I'm going to share with you that I think will help you when we start working on the mission, vision, values. And I did add DEI statements because diversity, equity, and inclusion is a really important part of what's happening today. And I found that several, including national, had added these. And then after that, we'll get into strategic priorities, goals, and objectives. We'll do some smarter goal setting. And of course, we want to align everything with strategic priorities. And if we drill down any deeper than that in 4 hours, it'll be a miracle. I do have some more in case we're that productive. But I think that for the most part, I've had really good luck with groups like yours that are motivated to get things done. And so I know that we're going to come out with excellent mission, vision, values, DEI statement, strategic priorities, and at least some of the goals by the end of this meeting. And we will adjourn at 5 p.m., 1700 hours, if not slightly sooner. Here are our ground rules, and I added the ones that you emailed in some form or fashion, but please minimize any distractions, including muting anything that makes sound. It's really hard in this online environment to focus. I know, because there are days when I'm in meeting after meeting after meeting, and then I'm in evening meetings as well. And truly it's exhausting. And they say Zoom burnout is real, but it doesn't matter what platform you use. Sometimes I'm using 4 different platforms in a day. It's just kind of exhausting to be on and to be on camera and to engage, but we need you. As Allison said in her email, we need to hear your voices. We need your input. And so we're really glad you're here. If at all possible, keep your camera on. It's a great way for us to sense body language and also just to kind of connect with each other a little bit more. Please mute yourself except when speaking. Be on time, including from breaks. We will try to take breaks about once an hour, but please, if you feel the need to take a break before then, if you don't mind, just type in the chat box, be right back or whatever. And so we'll know you're not there if we're doing any consensus voting. Participate actively. Keep an open mind, be respectful to everyone. It's hard sometimes in an online platform not to interrupt. There are some things that you can do, such as reactions. If you're not familiar with the Zoom platform, if you look at my words are not coming to me right now, where it says mute, stop video, and so on. There are some things there that you can use that'll help you, some tools that you can use that'll help you. And there's also more. You can further hover over yourself I'm not sure what the process is on a mobile device because I can't recall right now, but if you hover over yourself, you'll see that there's the mute function as well as several more options. So yeah, and because life is too short and we take ourselves far too seriously in this world, if you break any rules, you sing. And because, you know, I really appreciate good voices because I don't have one myself. But if you have a really great voice, I do encourage you to please break a rule so we can hear you sing, okay? All right, let's go to introductions. I'm gonna actually stop sharing after this. I want you to memorize these things. Your name, what you do, and then you have your choice of an adjective to describe you that begins with your first name or something unique about you. Who would like to begin? I'll pick people if I don't have a volunteer. I'll just pick people. All right, I'm going to pick people. Tanya.
Good afternoon. I'm Tanya Hobby, and I'm the health officer for Wakulla in Taylor County. And one thing unique about me is that I like to sing.
You like to sing?
Yes.
Give us a little hint. Give us a little piece.
No.
Come on, you like to though.
I do, but I like to sing with a group of people.
Okay, well maybe we'll have a
I sing on praise and worship at my church.
Awesome. That's great. Cindy, you're next.
Hi, I'm Cindy Hughes Harris. I'm Dean of the School of Allied Health Sciences at Florida A&M University. I don't sing. I can't, that's a C. I can't sing. Is that unique about me? But perhaps there's another C of some sort. I consider myself to be a committed individual to whatever I undertake. I'm glad to be here.
Beautiful, excellent. Kristen.
My name is Kristen Aguirre. I am the AHEC Scholar Coordinator and a few other fill-ins. Was it a unique thing that has to start with the K or just a unique thing?
It's either an adjective that starts with a K or a unique.
Okay, a unique
you
thing.
Both get a bonus.
A unique thing. I lived for a year in Russia and I met the general of the KGB school.
Wow.
So there's that.
That's pretty cool.
I was a Russian language major at FSU.
Can you give us a word that we wouldn't know in Russian?
A word you would not know?
Mm-hmm. Like not yet.
Oh, not yet. Like I could say kakarasho.
Okay, what's that?
Отлично. Kakarasho is how great. Отлично is excellent.
Very nice. Perfect. Ambria.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ambria Young. I am the Assistant Tobacco Program Manager. And one thing or one adjective that begins with an A is I'm adventurous. So I like to try new things.
Excellent. I like that. Yolanda.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yolanda Gillette, formerly Yolanda Candelaria, and I'm the bilingual outreach manager. And something unique about me is I used to be in the music business, so I toured all over the world.
Oh my goodness. Do you sing as well?
No, I was on the management side.
All right.
I can't sing at all.
Me either, but I do it anyway. Leslie.
Hi, I'm Les Beich. I'm a faculty member at Florida State University, and I'm linguistically limited.
Good L there, double L. All right, Emily.
Hey, good afternoon, Emily Kohler. I'm the tobacco program manager, and I hate to say it, but I'm exhausted. And a unique thing about me is that I lived in Europe. I played professional volleyball in Europe.
Wow, where did you live in Europe?
Switzerland.
How cool is that? That's neat.
Awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. All right, Allison.
Hey, Allison Wyman, Executive Director. And since Ambria took my adventurous, because I am active right now. I feel like I'm trying to get back in shape, active mind, active body, active heart. That's me.
Excellent. Love it. Karen.
I'm Karen Lipford. I am a faculty member at Florida State University, and I also work part-time as a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And I try to be kind and not be that Karen.
That was good. I like that. All right, Catherine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Williams. I'm the new office assistant here at Big Bend AHEC. And I would say something unique about me is I took 5 years of Latin in high school.
Wow. Has it helped you with other languages or anything else?
It helps me with other languages. I can read relatively well in Spanish, for example. I can't speak it, but I can read a sign or the back of a bottle, something like that. And then also it helps a lot with like medical terminology. So that's been a huge part that helped me get through like college courses and stuff, was being able to do medical terminology really well.
Excellent, and welcome.
Thank you.
John. Just unmute yourself. I can unmute you if you can.
Okay, I'm trying. I kept clicking on it, wasn't working. What's unique about me is I can't operate my mouse, but I'm John Simpson. I'm on Big Bend AHEC and Big Bend Rural Health Network boards. I'm currently serving the treasurer, and I try to be jovial.
Jovial's good. I like it. I like all your FSU stuff in the background too. All right, Desiree, who's driving? There's a word. I don't know if she can unmute herself. I don't know. Desiree?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I am just Desiree from Big Bend AHEC. I'm the HR and fiscal coordinator. And I guess devoted would be a good adjective for me. I'm a pretty devoted, dedicated type of person.
We lost her. I think she just lost her internet. Oh, she's popping back on. Desiree, are you still with us? Or did you bounced away and came back?
Desiree, she might be between her car and her house. She got a late start from the office today. So
I see her again. Desiree, I heard dedicated and devoted, and that's awesome. All right, let's go with Calandra.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, I'm Calandra Portalette, and I'm the Rural Health and Navigator Services Manager. And I'll say adjectives that describe me would be caring and conscientious.
Very nice. Bonita.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bonita Hampton. I'm with the Florida Department of Education, and I am with the family. Wait a minute. We just changed our we just had a restructuring. So it's family and community relations. So I feel blessed, and I'm also at the beginnings of an empty nester.
Oh, wow. Lots of emotions around that, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Jill.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jill. I'm the health promotion specialist at Big Bend AHEC. And a unique thing about me, I worked in EMS for 4 years, and during that time, I have had 4 CPR saves.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for being amazing. Seriously, thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
Marianne?
Hi, I'm Marianne. I have been with Big Bend AHEC for 2 years. I'm a health educator, and right now I mainly educate people on how to take better care of yourself and your loved ones if you or they have diabetes. I am merciful. I am occasionally meticulous, but only occasionally. And a unique thing about me is that I studied abroad in Scotland a while back and enjoyed that.
Wow, where were you in Scotland?
I was at Strathclyde University, or uni, as everybody over there seemed to say, and it was in Glasgow. And I got the chance to go to a few other places while I was there, which was really cool.
That is cool. My mom is 100% Scottish. She got her citizenship not that long ago, so that's neat.
Congratulations to her. That's great.
Yeah, really cool. So, all right, did I miss anyone? We got everybody? Great. Let's go over the process, the objectives for today. Strategic planning is such an important part of an organization and how it grows and how it meets its goals. And I know that you haven't really had a lot of strategic planning in your organization. So I think today is very, very important. So strategic planning is an organization's process of defining its strategy or direction and making decisions on allocating resources to pursue the strategy, including capital and people. It helps determine where an organization is going over the next year or 5 or however long we are able to plan ahead and how it's going to get there. Consensus, this is important. With a group this size, we're not gonna 100% agree on everything, but consensus helps with cooperative development of a decision where people can live with a decision rather than 100% agreeing. And so the goal is that everybody is agreeing that you can live with it. It's not a unanimous decision. Does everyone understand that? And did we just have somebody new join who needs to do an introduction?
We did.
All right, let's see. Who do we have?
Tamara?
Tamara,
Hi,
Tamara.
good afternoon. Yes, this is Tamara. Apologies for my tardiness. This is Tamara. I am actually on leave this week, but it's a pleasure to be joining the strategic planning session. I am the health education coordinator at the Florida Department of Education and also adjunct professor of health at FAMU currently. So thank you. Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here. I'm in traveling. As I said, I'm on leave, so I will have my camera off, but I'll be listening attentively.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. Tamara, can you give me an adjective that begins with your first name to describe you?
Oh my goodness. What is my first name? I still think classic from like elementary. I'd always say terrific, but I just probably something else. But
okay, tenacious, terrific. Okay, excellent. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for being here during your downtime as well. That's much appreciated. Your commitment is much appreciated. So, all right, let's move on then. And what I'm going to do is share with you what each of the things we're going to be working on is, definitions of each of the things, and then we're going to go back and I'm going to give you specific examples. So the first thing we're going to work on is a mission statement. And it should clearly define the purpose of an organization, as well as any products or services to be offered. It's really about, why are you here? Why does your organization exist? Typically, there are 3 components of any mission statement. Who's your target customer, your key market, what product or service do you provide to your customers, your contribution, and what makes you unique? Why should people care? Distinction. So your current mission is to create community and academic partnerships to improve the health of rural and medically underserved communities. Vision. Now, as I was doing my research for our meeting today, I saw that not a lot of organizations had vision. But to me, a vision statement is important. It's a pie in the sky, like if there were no limitations, what would your organization be? What would you want to become? It should resonate with everybody, and it should make you feel proud, excited, and part of something bigger than yourselves. A vision should stretch your capabilities and your image and give shape and direction to the future. So think about things like, what do you want your organization to become? So values are next. Values are beliefs that are shared among stakeholders of an organization. This is another thing that when I was doing my research, I saw that several other AHECs did not have values, but I think they're important. They help drive an organization's culture and priorities, and they provide a framework in which decisions are made. Next, strategic priorities are focus areas that are important to your organization. They help guide the goals and objectives, and they reflect your culture. Goals, after we drill down from priorities or goals, they're specific accomplishments that must be achieved in total or in some combination in order to achieve some larger overall result preferred from the system, for example, the mission of the organization. Now, you probably heard of SMART goals. I like SMARTer goals. Specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, time-bound, and extending and rewarding. Extending is stretching you beyond where you thought was possible, and then rewarding, of course, you want something to be rewarding. I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I wanted to ask if anyone had questions about those things. And I wanted to share a recent document that I did for strategic planning for Gadsden County, because I thought it might give you an idea about what my hope is for today. So can everyone see this document right now? So I can't see you right now because it's in presentation mode, so I apologize, but I'm assuming thank you.
Yeah, we can see it.
Thank you so much. So they came up with their values, their strategic priorities, their vision, their mission, and I made this document. I don't know why it's displaying with stable, has a little thing around it. In real life, it doesn't look like that. But I want you to notice that with their values, they spelled out Gadsden leads. I think that's great to have some kind of mnemonic that summarizes what your values are is really helpful. But my goal would be to have something similar to this for you, for your organization, something that's a one-page document that everybody can look at and identify with and feel good about. This is what we came up with today. Any questions before I start sharing some of the examples?
Can you just quickly review the 3 parts of the mission statement?
Sure. So the 3 parts of the mission statement are key market, who is your target customer, contribution, what product or service do you provide to your customers, and distinction, what makes you unique? Why should people care about you? Great. So my thought is, as we go through these, that I would share some examples, and then we would just immediately go into whatever that is. So for example, I'll share some examples of missions, and then we'll go into writing your mission statement. Does that sound good to everyone? Cool. All right, so this is National's mission statement, which is always good to look at when we're drilling down. It's to enhance access to quality healthcare, particularly primary and preventative care, by improving the supply and distribution of healthcare professionals via strategic partnerships with academic programs, communities, and professional organizations. Now, you'll notice that I had to take a breath. I don't recommend mission statements that require you to take a breath. They should be succinct whenever possible. Here is North Carolina's. So this isn't, let's see, it doesn't say mission, but it provides and supports educational activities and services with a focus on primary care in rural communities and those with less access to resources to recruit, train, and retain the workforce needed to create a healthy North Carolina. Again, I had to take a breath. Here we go. Here's more succinct. Alaska, to promote health workforce development so that all Alaskans have access to employment and quality health care. Northeast Florida, to create academic and community partnerships for the improvement of health in underserved communities. That's, to me, that's really nice and succinct, and it helps me understand what it's about. Florida Keys, To effectively promote health and wellness through education, health assessments, and professional development using partnerships and other contract-funded services, resulting in a healthier, better educated community. Oops, that's it. That's all I have for mission statement examples. All right, you ready to write a mission statement? And let me know if you want me to read any of those again. What I'm going to do is share a document, and I'm going to live type in. And so what we're going to do is I need one of my facilitators to let me know if anyone's typing things in the chat box. But I encourage you to type. Actually, you know what? I should be able to see it. Hang on. Let me just completely stop sharing my. There we go. Okay. So I got out of the PowerPoint. It should enable me to see the chat now. One moment. It's not. Okay, there we go. Now I can see the chat. Yay. All right. So definitely feel free to type in the chat box and let me know if any of the mission statements that I read strike a chord and you want to hear them again. So someone said they like Northeast Florida. Let me go ahead and read it for you. It's to create academic and community partnerships for the improvement of health in underserved communities. I like that too. Alaska is to promote health workforce development so that all Alaskans have access to employment and quality health care. That's also really nice. I agree.
Gabrielle, did you share a previous mission statement for Big Bend AHEC here?
I did. Let me see what it is. Yeah. Let's see here. Got to back up. To create community and academic partnerships to improve the health of rural and medically underserved communities. So Cindy says she likes the concepts of community partnerships and health promotion. So what do you think?
The ones that were longer appeared to have their goals.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They got off target with a mission statement. A mission statement doesn't need
we need to avoid that.
Yeah.
I like any of those that were shorter.
Me too. So what? Now that we've heard some of those, what are some ideas you have for our mission statement?
Well, I like to think about what it is that we do, I mean, on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
And one of the main things we do on a day-to-day is to promote educational health programs. I mean, so that's like standard across the board. That's what we all do.
And why are you promoting? Why are you promoting educational health programs?
To ideally improve the health and self-management of our clients.
But to be more specific, our clients are the underserved, rural, minority communities. I mean, I know I'm trying to keep it succinct, but
well now
anybody else
underserved encompasses the other two adjectives you used, right?
That's true.
Okay. So let's see. So Catherine said, I think the concept of empowering communities through education is a big part of what we do. Catherine, unmute yourself and tell us how does that differ from to promote educational health programs?
It doesn't. Yolanda and I were thinking at the same time. I was typing, she was speaking, but I think it's really the same concept. It's just
okay, great.
Giving people tools to work with, resources to work with.
Do we need to put tools and resources in here somewhere? Or right now we have, okay, so Les said partnerships and rural aspects are also important. To promote educational health programs, to improve the health and self-management of underserved populations. It's definitely succinct. Do we need to add anything about partnerships? And
collaborating with community partnerships is a big part of what we do.
Okay.
Could you say to promote educational health programs and to form partnerships with
like that.
community partners to improve the health and self-management of underserved populations.
That's, okay, that was way too many words, I think. Just
Okay.
something about
To
partnerships.
promote educational health programs and form community partnerships
To improve the health.
to improve the health and self-management of underserved populations in the Big Bend area.
May I circle back around to something Leslie brought up in the chat and something I agree with? I know that underserved does technically encompass rural, but in general, so few people think of the rural community. I feel like that word is important, and it's also literally in one of our, the word is literally in one of our sister programs, which is Big Bend Rural Health Network. I'd advocate for putting underserved, maybe / rural in there, or just including it in there. Yeah, thank you.
That's a good point, Marianne.
What about minority then?
Yeah, thoughts? Couldn't hurt, but.
And Calandra says access comes to mind.
I'm not sure how to put that in there, but the word access keeps coming to mind because I know we're trying to deliver services or access to services, for instance, for diabetes or those types of services, but the word access, I just cannot shake it, but I'm just trying to make it fit.
I like that word too, Calandra. I really like that word.
Yeah, and that helps because fundamentally and this doesn't have to go in the mission statement, I'm just talking out loud, but when I think of correcting health inequities or trying to close the gap, like the Close the Gap program, to lessen some of these health inequities, even in just a small way, by literally going to the person's county, that's part of what we do, or making partnerships there.
Well, could they be accessible educational health programs?
Yeah, we could probably remove the word promote.
Yeah, I think so too. Emily says, should we switch health education to align with our name?
Well, you could put promote accessible educational if you wanted promote. If you didn't want.
Okay, so let's start with to increase access. What are we increasing access to?
Health education.
Can we kill programs?
Yep. Increase access to health education. Bye.
Let's take a quick look at it, and we'll go back to the education center in just a moment, Marianne. To increase access to health education by forming community partnerships to improve the health and self-management of underserved rural populations.
But we're not just forming community partnerships. We are directly accessing members of the community.
Okay, so where does partnerships fall in?
Because in addition to provide, I'm just giving you a little background. In addition to collaborating with partners, we are accessing directly the community to bring the health education programs to. So somebody else add their words.
So
maybe services.
To increase access to health education and form community partnerships to improve the health and self-management of underserved rural populations.
So we're actually health and self-management. Like if you're able to self-manage, you do improve your health. Like you do improve your health.
So kill health?
No, kill self-management.
Self-management, okay. All right. It's getting more succinct.
When you had mentioned about what about minority communities, yes. I think that in my humble opinion, it is a given when we're discussing minority populations that they are underserved. Am I incorrect? I mean, I'm a minority and I would think that is.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, I personally would feel the same way about rural populations.
Okay. So then maybe, I mean, how does everyone feel about just, I mean, if we're trying to keep it short and sweet, then eliminating rural populations? I mean, because I know someone had mentioned that should be a part of it, but underserved, isn't that just a given? I mean, that's what I think. When I think underserved, I would immediately think, well, that would have to be, especially in the part of Florida we're in, that would immediately, I would assume, rural and minority and poor.
Let's talk about that. Let's discuss.
I think it certainly would not eliminate rural, minority, or poor. The question might be, will others accept those inclusions if we don't specifically state them? Community partnerships to improve the health of the underserved. And typically underserved, you're right, rural, minority populations, and we can kind of go on. And I'm fine with underserved because I understand it. Will others understand what we are saying if we don't say it?
That's a good point, Cindy. Would they?
That is a good point.
Yeah.
So is it really making it too wordy by adding the other? I mean, because me personally, I would have added the others, but we're trying to keep it less wordy.
Let's read it and see how we feel. To increase access to health education and form community partnerships to improve the health of underserved rural and minority populations.
That's one breath, Gabrielle.
Yeah, it was one breath. I can tell you Northeast Florida, let me just read Northeast Florida, to create academic and community partnerships for the improvement of health in underserved communities. They just use underserved. I like rural and minority being included personally. But I'd like to see, how does everyone feel? Let's put it in the chat box or speak up. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that needs to be stated? Do you like it or do you not like it?
I don't have a problem with the wording like it is, but I feel like if you read that, if I was just an outsider reading that, I would think that Big Bend just helps underserved rural and minority populations, and that's it.
Ah, you're right. It does feel that way.
So that's how it feels to me reading it. That's what I would think.
It does. It definitely reads that way. You're right.
Can I add one thing in keeping in respect with what you mentioned, Ms. Karen? But most of our grants are specific to serving minority and rural populations. Not all, but the majority. When we are having to meet deliverables, part of our deliverables is meeting specific populations. So in essence, it's not actually, well, I'm not, anybody else can jump in, but another thought that I'm having is specifically Big Bend AHEC. We serve a much wider, larger part of the Big Bend of North Florida because we cover 14 counties. And different than West Florida, not only do we have a larger population in terms of counties, but in that population of counties, there are specific rural counties that are minority driven.
Again, I don't have a problem with those words being on there. All I'm pointing out to you is that someone on the outside reading it would go with the impression that those are the populations that Big Bend AHEC serves, and that's it.
I hear you, and I put a potential fix for that in the chat where we could say something like to improve community health, comma,
Yes.
and then an intensifying word like especially, or we don't even have to have that,
Yes.
but yeah. Thanks, Cindy.
That's actually great.
That's where I was. Yes.
Yeah,
All right. So do you like especially?
No.
Okay.
But
Including maybe?
including was where I
Including?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to
Including.
include too. Anyone have a better word than including?
No.
No, I think that sounds great.
That's better. Yeah, because the tobacco program has no limitation. You can have primo insurance, no insurance. We help any population. Of course, we purposely try to target the underserved because they're the ones who are more likely to be tobacco users. So, but yeah, C2G, Closing the Gap, is minority directed. So, and is the DEEP program specifically also for underserved minorities? Is it listed that way?
We can serve anyone and do serve anyone. We try, obviously, the minority populations in particular have a higher rate of type 2 diabetes.
Right.
Same thing with rural.
And same for smoking.
Can we consider using particularly instead of including? I don't know.
Particularly is really hard to say.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they're both 3 syllables, but it's a lot harder no, it's actually 4 syllables. It's actually harder to say.
What about along with? Or is that adding one
To
to any
increase access to health.
Or a focus
What about
on
through? What about to increase access to health education through community partnerships focused on improving?
focused on, yeah.
Wait. Say that again, please.
I
Because
can't.
I'm reading the chat box at the same time. Go ahead. Say that again. To increase access to health education. Where was through?
Through, right there where you are, through community partnerships, taking out and form.
But I thought I heard you say that you provide direct services, not always through community partnerships.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. I thought I heard that.
So this is only saying what we kind of currently do. This isn't a focus on what we may be doing in the future, because we do have the new Navigator program, and it's not only health education, it's actually providing health insurance for these populations. And we want to really expand our CEU classes to provide continuing education to our very strong health community, because we have the hospitals and everything here. So this is only focusing on our DOH contracts, which is a large part of who we are, but it's not all of who we are.
Okay.
Would you want to add resources?
Sure, but
That's
before
I like that.
Okay, where would resources go?
To increase access to health education and resources?
We
Or
got a
health
lot of
education
okay.
/ resources?
No, I hate slashes,
Okay.
especially in mission statements. And
So
then,
I think health education actually covers that CE portion. I mean, you know,
I agree. I think it's getting too wordy if you keep adding all of that in.
yeah, it is getting wordy.
I thought we wanted to keep it simple and just overall general, because then we can expand later in goals in different areas.
What if we said promoting health education and access instead of to increase access? What if we
Promoting, say that again.
health education and access, because access could be to those resources, and then we wouldn't have to say that.
So kill resources.
Yeah, promoting health education and access, forming community partnerships to improve.
No, but the forming part, again, we get into, aren't you also doing direct services?
Can I just tell you that when you start to add the word access in the way that we have it here, this is just my opinion and you can shoot me down, but I've been asked in the past if we have like clinical care, like we have healthcare provider care. And I think sometimes when somebody is not well versed in what it is that AHEC does, they think that we're some type of free clinic.
Right.
Because I have been asked that.
Yeah, we've gotten that at lots. Yeah, we've gotten that before.
So should we back it up? Or do you like this?
I'd back it up.
Maybe resource access, promoting, oh, I lost that thought, promoting health education and resource access, because it could be, right now our Navigator program is for the ACA, but we could be doing other things in the future. I mean, we didn't foresee that we would be doing a Navigator program.
I mean, it's still education and community partnership, and you're increasing access to all of that. So I think it overall encompasses it.
Yeah. And even the Navigator, it's still, it is resources, but it is ultimately health education. I think it still falls in the health I mean, loosely, I guess.
Could you put to increase resource access to health education with community partners?
When you say with, that's telling me that you're only doing it with community partners.
Yeah.
You're not doing direct. You're all of your work is through community partnerships. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. So a lot of people have been typing in the chat box, and we were talking at the same time. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Would any of you who were typing in the chat box who don't feel like your voice was heard, if you'll just speak up now? I see Calandra, for example, said you can add rural minority information for goals, and so take it out of there, or what?
Well, that was prior to when we listed including, but the word services is there for me, but I just can't put it in there because Yolanda did raise a great point about services, because in the past, I have encountered that where people would think that we're actually providing medical services.
I agree.
So I agree with that. So that's why I'm trying not to go with services, but I don't know why I'm holding on to that word, but she's right about that point. So I'm just going to scratch it out.
Okay, thank you. I know Allison suggested using especially instead of particularly or including. How do you feel about that? How does everyone feel about that?
Well, she's my boss. I'm going to say I love it.
No, today she's not your boss. Today we are all talking about what is right for your organization. Is it including or especially? Is there a particular emphasis on underserved rural and minority populations?
Yes.
Okay. So does everyone like especially?
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
It's an awkward word.
Sorry, Allison. I don't.
I'm not crazy about the word including, and I was looking for.
What about in addition to?
Oh no, now we're getting really long. Not in addition to.
I mean, I could be overruled. I just think like including is kind of like duh. Of course we include.
All right. Can I just? We have the word community there twice.
Mm-hmm.
Resource access to health education.
I 100% agree with you. I hate it when words are used twice. Yes.
All right. And form partnerships. Form partnerships to improve community health. Now, community health in many arenas includes underserved, rural, minority, and whomever else is in that community.
Mm-hmm.
So we are either saying we really want to focus on underserved rural and minority populations, or perhaps accept that improved community health by definition includes underserved rural and minority populations. And maybe those concepts will come out more in the vision or the goals. Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, how does everyone feel about that?
I like that idea.
I like the idea of primary focus on, because that is the primary focus.
So tell me how to revise this. Are you saying stop at community health?
I keep going back. I can't help it that, and somebody else made this comment, we can make one of our goals the underserved. We can make one of our goals the rural population. We can make one of our goals the minority population.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's what I was saying.
I agree. I like that idea.
Community
well,
health includes all of that.
All right, I hear a voice that maybe is a voice of dissension.
Here's why I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. We're in the universe of DEI at the moment, and we're going to try and fit this into our plan. Cutting out that very component by removing it from the mission statement is going to make it sound like an add-on later. This is intrinsically and inherently who AHEC is, and then you're going to make it into an add-on. I think that's a mistake, but I will help you with it by adding one extra letter. Instead of to increase resource access to health education, it's for health education. So knock off the TO and make it FOR.
So we're not increasing access to health education, we're increasing access for health education?
Well, when I read it, it just looks to me like you provide resources for health education, but we actually provide health education.
Right.
So I don't like resource personally.
resource access, where it is not reading well for me.
It's not reading well at all. And it just looks like, hey, if you contact us, I'll give you a resource list. I'm not actually providing any courses. Whereas if you're increasing access for health education, that could be us, that could be a community partner, that could be a lot of different things. It's more than just a resource, it's actual education.
Service, yeah.
So
If you say services, health education services.
Is it about services or education or both?
yeah, we don't, it's more, well, I mean, intrinsically, the providing the education is a service.
I think if you're just providing health education, it can be from us or sharing a resource. Regardless, you're providing health education.
Right.
Yeah, to me, a service, as an outsider reading if you added services, I would think that you're providing healthcare. All right, let's go back to the 4 and the 2. And then we'll see if we can live with not having resource.
For health education.
So why 4 instead of 2? I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Less. Are you talking?
Mute yourself if you're talking.
I'm fine either way.
Okay. To increase access to health education sounds better to me than 4, just because when you're talking about access, it normally is access to.
I think so too, but I'm second guessing myself because Les is a lot smarter than me.
All right.
Before we had the word
resource
in there.
I'm looking up words and it says to, expressing motion in the direction of a particular location or condition. In other words, going towards something.
Well, when he mentioned the word for, we also had the word
For
resource.
is in support or in favor of a person or policy or because we do something. So think about those words. I just looked that up. Maybe that will help. I don't know.
So remind me, or why is it that we say increase access to rather than just provide?
A lot of people said they really like the word access.
I don't, but you know.
I like provide.
Okay.
I like provide better.
So not increase access, provide.
I think we're providing health education.
I agree.
All right, how does everyone feel about that? Those of you who used access, how do you feel about changing to provide health education? Provide, okay. The chat box.
It shortens it up too.
It
So
does.
it reads easier. This is fine, I think.
It does read easier. Let's see.
I
if
like
everybody-
it.
I can live with it, is what I think a lot of people are
Okay.
thinking in their
Can
head.
anyone not live with it? Type in the chat box if you have any thoughts or if you like it, or if speak up if you want to have your voice heard as well. All right, so far all preferences are toward provide. Okay, every single person so far is saying they like provide. Anyone not? Let me read it while you're thinking about it, those of you who haven't chimed in yet. To provide health education and form partnerships to improve community health, including underserved, rural, and minority populations. All right, everyone likes provide. I think maybe we need to look at the rest of it and possibly slightly wordsmith it the way we just did with provide. I like it too. It is, it's more succinct.
I think it's a pretty powerful statement too.
Yeah. All right, so provide it is. Now let's just look at the rest of it. To provide health education. Does that summarize what you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And form partnerships to improve community health, including, it almost feels like it needs a 2 there, including underserved, rural, and minority populations. Earlier, there was discussion about taking that out. Do we leave it in?
This is Cindy, and I rescind my saying maybe we should take it out, because I now, as I read this, it should be in. Including sounds like
Not right.
afterthought. Is it focused on? Are we focused on perhaps underserved rural and minority
Bill
populations?
says put with emphasis on. Is
Okay.
some more, is there a better way of saying that? We need a more succinct way of saying that.
Yeah, including just truly sounds afterthoughtish.
Focusing on,
I
guys. give me
think focus is what we do. We focus on the underserved rural and minority populations. I don't know how to word it, but
Yeah, it doesn't read well, what
No,
it
it
says right
doesn't.
there.
Right.
That's like what we.
Let's come up with a way to make it read well. Let's use our brains. There's some really good minds in this room here. I know we can come up with something better. So
Just say, I know, and I know we're cognizant of not in, because we do serve all populations, but can we just put for? Because really, if someone is needing a service, they're underserved, right? And so even, it doesn't matter the income. Here in Tallahassee, there is a complete total lack of diabetes education for the most part. So, I mean,
are you saying that, let me just stop you. Are you saying that you don't serve people unless they're underserved, rural, or minorities?
No, I'm saying if you look at underserved a different way, the word underserved, because the program isn't available, it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor.
Okay, I got it.
It's a need.
I will counter that by saying this is going to go on the website, right?
Yes, it'll be everywhere.
And a lot of people may not see themselves as being underserved in spite of the fact that, say, there's only one endocrinologist in town and they're not taking new patients. So I just want to caution.
We use the word encompassing.
Instead of with focus on?
Mm-hmm.
Because encompassing is kind of like including.
Yeah.
Is it a particular emphasis on underserved rural and minority populations?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not including and it's not encompassing. It's emphasizing, focusing. So let me just read it right now and see how we're doing. To provide health education and form partnerships to improve community health with focus on underserved rural and minority populations.
With a focus, is that?
Why A?
Sounds weird without it. With focus.
I think it does read better with the A in there, with a focus on.
Do you like focusing or with a focus on?
I like focusing. But I don't care.
Then we don't need A. To provide health education and form partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations.
Oh, I like it.
It does sound better.
I second that.
All right.
Was
You
an
guys
hour
feel good
on that.
about this? All right. We've got Kristen saying yes. Okay, let's type in the chat box or speak up if you like it or you think anything else needs to be changed. Calandra says yes. Jill, yes. Yolanda likes it. Benita wants to change it to which focuses. We got a looks good. Yes, yes, yes. Like it. Before going forward, can we compare our current mission? Sure, we can go back and do that. Les. Yes, yes.
That's a good idea.
Let's get some more comments and then I'll go back and read the prior one. All right, so far all yeses. The current one is to create community and academic partnerships to improve the health of rural and medically underserved communities. To provide health education and form partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations. I think it's better. What do you think?
Better.
It's definitely better.
Do we need to tweak it any further? So far, I have everyone saying that they like it. I know someone wanted a little bit more wordsmithing. I can't scroll back up in the chat. There we go. Let's see, which focuses? I wouldn't change it personally to which focuses from focusing, but you tell me. Bonita. Can everyone live with this?
How about a "the" before the underserved?
Okay, so Calandra says, sorry, it's a direct message. So says a comma should be here. Let me just read it and see. I love grammar. And then Tamara says develop instead of form. Let's just go with a comma first. To provide health education and form partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations. Actually, she's right about the comma.
Yeah.
That does make more sense. So yeah, it definitely helps. I agree, Kristen. And then Tamara says develop instead of form. To provide health education and develop instead of form partnerships. What do you guys think? Thank you, Calandra, for the comma. I definitely like that better. So Calandra, are you saying yes to develop instead of form? Develop, okay. Build or establish, or some other suggestions from Catherine? So we're looking at possibly changing a 1-syllable word to 3. Build is definitely 1. What do you guys think? Build, develop, establish, form. Build, form, okay.
Yeah.
Says form. Form, Emily.
I don't
okay.
like build. I don't like, yeah. I
Yeah.
prefer form.
Do you like form better than develop? Form, okay, so far everyone's saying form. Okay, Cindy says not build, I like develop. Cindy, do you like develop better than form?
I do.
Okay.
I'm not, I mean, it's not a, drop dead kind of thing.
Yeah.
Form works. I just personally like developing.
All right, let me read it both ways and you tell me what you think. To provide health education and form partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations. Now let me try it the other way. To provide health education and develop partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations.
Can we consider expand? Because we have Mary, as is evidenced by everybody who's here. I mean, they're all our partners. So, I mean,
I like what you're saying, because we have a lot of already established partnerships.
Yeah.
And occasionally we start to get new ones. I like the idea of expand.
How about grow instead of expand?
How about promote?
Say that again, please.
Promote.
Promote partnership.
Yeah.
I like all of those because they're active. What I don't like about form, it was too passive, but the words we're saying now are active words, and I like those. Grow, expand, they're active words.
I like promote because
I like promote
it
too.
encompasses those partnerships that we already have and new partnerships.
Mm-hmm. I like promote too.
All right, let me try this. I know there's a lot of disagreement about some of these words, but let's just try it with promote. To provide health education and promote partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations.
So
Sounds,
I'm going to tell you why I think promote works.
yeah, I like it.
So part of what I do as an outreach manager is I work with a lot of the partnerships. And one of the main things that we're doing since the time of COVID is requesting that they send us their events and we help promote their events. I mean, that's a part of our regular, almost everyday interaction with our community partners. So in that particular word really does fit with what we do with our partnerships.
Yeah, and Yolanda, most people in the chat box right now are typing they like promote.
Oh,
I'd love to hear more voices. Does anyone not like it? Would anyone rather have a different word? I think it sounds really good. It helps me understand what you do. Let me read it one more time. To provide health education and promote partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved, rural, and minority populations. What do you think?
I like it.
Okay.
I definitely like it.
All right. Catherine says promotion implies we're moving forward. Emily says it's an accurate description. Marianne says, let's do it. All right. It sounds like people like it. Does anyone not like it? I think we might have a mission statement. All right. Calendar says we have our new mission statement. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. All right. Why don't we take a 5-minute stretch bio break? Does that sound good to everyone?
Yep.
Or do you want to plow forward? Would you rather plow forward?
I would love to go fill up my water.
Okay.
So, I mean, like literally, just a couple.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. So let's do a 5-minute bio break and we'll come back at 14:18. Okay.
Okay.
And get up and stretch even if you don't think you need it. It helps. Is everyone coming back?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's have our cameras back on. As soon as I see more cameras on, I'll know we're all back. We have a few more people who aren't back yet. While we're waiting on them, I'll just read it one more time. To provide health education and promote partnerships. Sorry, hang on a second. Okay, someone's on call with a client. Let me see. Your mission is to improve community health, focusing on underserved, rural, and minority populations. Again, to improve community health. Wait, it got, okay. When I pasted, it got really wonky. Let's try this again. Huh, that's weird. Let me go back to the original document. It didn't copy correctly into the chat box. Let me read it out loud again. To provide health education and promote partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved, rural, and minority populations. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Yes, good job, everybody. Why is a mission statement important? And why should you be giving yourself a pat on the back right now? A mission statement is really the bedrock of any organization. And without a good mission statement, you're not ready for the future. You don't really know where you're going and what is going to guide your goals. And so this is a huge accomplishment to have a mission statement that everybody buys into. And I think that you're going to find that the rest of it is probably going to flow a little easier now that you have it. And when you start aligning your goals and everything else, it's going to help. So good job, really good job. Everyone appears to be back pretty much. So thank you so much. Any thoughts before we move on to vision? All right, let's look at two vision examples, just two. Let me remind you, what is a vision? A vision is a statement about what your organization wants to become. It should resonate with everybody and make you feel excited. I like to say it's a pie in the sky. Like if there were no resource limitations, if there were no anything getting in the way, what would you be? And so Alaska's is a good example of a very good vision statement, to be the national model for successful healthcare workforce development. Here's Suwannee River. It's a little long. It's the leader in innovative health education. We create and champion diverse programming and foster strong partnerships to improve the health of our community. We function within an environment of financial sustainability and social responsibility. That actually got a little out of vision for me. I think if they would have ended it at the first sentence, that is actually a vision statement, to be the leader in innovative health education. All right, so let's think about what would your vision be? What is your pie in the sky dream for your organization? What would you like to see in your organization? If there were no limits, what would be your vision? Anyone have some ideas?
I don't know how to phrase this, but I think that part of that vision would be just to see that all communities served, and this is just the idea, not how it should be phrased, that we somehow come to the end of tobacco cessation, that we somehow have arrived at helping all people quit tobacco in its various forms. I think that would be one of our end goals. If we were talking the big lofty dream, then that would mean that we have, first of all, helped all people quit tobacco in its various forms, that we have educated people for their own personal health and well-being in that various forms, because we have so many different platforms for their health. So if we're talking pie in the sky, I think those would be our two primary objectives: to help all people have successfully quit smoking or vaping or chewing, and to have successfully help people achieve better personal health.
That's great.
I would also like for the citizens of the Big Bend to recognize the significant contributions of the AHEC towards community health. Yeah. I don't think many people know about us.
Say that again, please.
I don't think many people know about us.
Yeah,
I agree.
And what we do and how well we do it.
So let's just keep brainstorming some ideas here for a vision. I like this so far, and I actually think it'd be easy to kind of wrap those into each other. But what else? What else are your visions? Those of you who haven't spoken yet, what would you like to see? If pie in the sky, there were no limits, what would you like to see for this organization?
I'd like to see something that says to be, to work as a valued partner in the community, to be a valued partner helping people achieve health and well-being.
Aren't you already doing that?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this is pie in the sky.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't feel like we're valued all the time.
Yeah.
Because we're not.
Well, and you know,
Not by all.
and the last one, being recognized, is this, you know, it's very much in line with being valued. So maybe, you know, maybe that is part of it. But what are some other ideas you have for pie in the sky? Again, let me just read Alaska: to be the national model for successful healthcare workforce development. Sewanee, the leader in innovative health education. So the first idea was basically educating and helping all people to the point they no longer need our services because they've achieved excellent personal health, including stopping smoking. Obviously, we need to make that more succinct and kind of think about it in bigger terms. And then for citizens to recognize the contributions. And I would make it bigger than that, you know. So what do you think? What are some other ideas for vision?
And Les had a chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at
health in a verdant and kind universe.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull up the chat. To provide, oh, hang on a second. I'm not seeing it. One moment. Let me try to get the, okay. Optimal health in a verdant and kind universe. Talk to me less about that. Optimal health.
I'm just trying to get us a little, we don't have to use any of those terms. I'm just trying to get us out of the provincial to the more nirvana stage.
Yeah, I like optimal health a lot. And I don't know if, so you know, with words, not everybody even knows the definition of verdant. So I think that they should be words that are understood. Kind certainly is. So what do you mean by verdant, Les? What are you saying?
So verdant is, you know, kind of, you know, has to do more with greening of the universe. And so we're in a period of climate change. It's not just green energy, green everything. It's a universe that's flourishing and flowering.
Yeah, very good. Karen has one. That's great.
I like that one.
See, it's not copying properly. To be a recognized leader in North Florida in the health education of our community.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Does to lead that way in creating a culture of optimal health practices in our community through outstanding dedication. Okay, let me capture Karen's first.
That should say lead the way. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. To lead the way in creating a culture of optimal health practices in our communities through outstanding dedication. Let me, it's not letting, it's weird, but my copy paste is just wigging out here. So I have to retype everything.
I do think Les has a wonderful point of having something that's not standard, not traditional, would help bring a better catch. All for us would be a better marketing, and would also, even though Verdant isn't standardly known, it does create a beautiful vibrancy in what his statement. Optimal health in a verdant and kind universe. Everybody is focusing on green and health and growing our planet, bringing health and restoration to each other, our planet. So maybe if we could find an alternate for verdant.
Yeah.
Because outside the box will help get us more attention. If we keep saying what everybody else is already saying, they're just, whoever looks at our website, whoever is even considering us and looks at our website, they're just going to go, oh, they're the same old stuff, and just kind of brush us off. We do want something out the box, something that is warm and inviting. I think Les is really onto something there.
Okay, so why don't we wordsmith this a little bit?
So I just looked up, just like you do. I had some different ones though. Flourishing, thriving.
Ooh, I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the word thriving.
Both of those are great.
Optimal health and a thriving and kind universe.
Yeah.
So the ideas about being recognized are not there. Are you okay with that?
We're still brainstorming.
All right, so we'll go back to that. Anyone else have other things they want to add? Let's just read what we have so far. To educate and help all people to the point they no longer need our services because they've achieved excellent personal health, including stopping smoking. For citizens to recognize the contributions, optimal health and a thriving and kind universe. To be a recognized leader in North Florida in the health education of our community. To lead the way in creating a culture of optimal health practices in our communities through outstanding dedication.
I had a thought while you read that.
Yeah.
And Miss Cindy, I love you. I hope you know I do. But when we read for citizens to recognize the contributions of us, which is something that is in all of our hearts, we do feel overlooked and neglected. But that makes it more about us, and we are more focused on the community. And we want to make sure that they know that. Maybe we could make that a value or something else.
Well, and I don't even intend it. I totally agree with you. And I did not intend for that to be a vision statement. It is one of our goals. I guess what I was saying was so many people don't know.
You're
and
right.
It's part of to be a recognized leader. You know, that kind of gets closer to what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I also think that a path to that is what the optimal health, you know, for us to be able to provide optimal health opportunities in a thriving and kind. I don't know if we have control over this kind universe. I think we may have some trouble with that.
Something that focuses on control. So we do have to think bigger than, so it's not, you know, it's just like the recognized leader or the, let me read something, to be the national model. There are a lot of things that are going to be outside of your control that won't allow you to be a national model, but it's certainly still a vision. It's like pie in the sky. What is your big dream for, you know, for what you do? So let's think about it a little bit more. Does anyone else have ideas? Key contributor to optimal health in a thriving and kind universe, Les says.
I like that one.
Huh?
I think Les is really on to something. I really do.
Now,
I agree with Les's thought pad here.
Me too. I believe in it. I just want to say that.
I think you got some fans for a good reason. And to me, this just listening to what everyone's saying makes me feel really good about your organization and what you see for it. The successes, the impact that you have on people's lives. That's what that says to me. Now, key contributor, what do you think about that?
I think that's a nice twist on the leader, and even though it doesn't say that we're the top, it just says that we are one of the top, and it's just not the same old verbiage that you hear in all of everything else.
It also holds true to our commitment to working with others in the community and other organizations in the community.
Very nice. Yes.
Very, very good.
That's supporting our partnerships. Absolutely. Ooh, good job, Kathy.
All right. So to be a key contributor to optimal health in a thriving and kind universe.
So do we want to say universe or do we want to say community?
Well, universe implies multiple communities.
I was just going by what y'all had said earlier. It kept saying community.
Oh, I like that too. The driving force.
Oh, yeah, I like that
great.
Too. Ooh, Les is just rolling today.
I'm not a big fan of the word universe. I think it sounds a little.
I feel like it's way too big. We need to.
I think it's a little hippy dippy.
Is there something else we can use?
Sorry.
There's nothing wrong with hippy dippy.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, I mean, it doesn't sound, I don't know. I don't like the word universe.
Coming from your crystal oil girl, okay? Just saying.
My inner New Yorker thinks that's a little too hippy dippy.
Say, look at the synonyms: cosmos, world, creation, life.
Global community. Okay.
Global community?
I like global.
Oh, I like global community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like global community.
But
see, I think if you limit yourself to Big Bend's.
But that's what we are. We are limited to Big Bend.
But you know, let me read. Almost all visions are bigger than what you are now. So.
And we contribute globally and nationally, because look at what we do with the NAO, and you know, it's not just Big Bend.
And don't we want to be an inspiration to other AHEC programs as well? And we lead
are
the way.
an inspiration to other AHEC programs.
If you are the driving force for optimal health, and
you all went to charter schools, I see.
Then you're definitely going to inspire everybody, right?
I really like that statement. I like the and kind global community, because it doesn't define, it just doesn't have any parameters. So it could be just Big Bend, it could be Florida, and it could just grow. So I really like that. I really like that.
All right, let's get some
But
feedback.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
Wait, Gabrielle, can I ask? In a thriving and I understand global community. I'm wondering about kind.
Kill kind?
I'm not saying that. I'm questioning it and I want some help with it. Our global community, parts of it are kind, parts of it are not. What if it's not kind? Are we only focused on the kind components? Kind to some of us is different what kindness is to others.
So what if we said to be the driving force for optimal health for a thriving and kind global community? So that we could be contributing to the thriving and the kindness.
Can you say that one more time, please?
Just for instead of in.
So 2 4s in a row? I don't understand. Why are we changing it into 4? How does that change?
To be the driving force for optimal health for a thriving and kind global community.
Because I think I agree with what you're saying, Desiree. I like the 4 over the in.
All right, can we change one of the 4s then?
Yeah, I don't want to duplicate, but But I like the for a thriving, not in a thriving, but so that we can be contributing to the thriving and the kindness.
To be the driving force and optimal health for a thriving. And we have a lot of
Would that
people,
be of?
people saying equitable instead of kind. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's the same.
It's not the same. Is there a different word?
Should it be to be the driving force
John
of
thinks we
optimal
should
health?
go global too. Say that again, please.
Should that N be of? Read that.
Yes. That's better. To be the driving force. I still want to say for. Of seems weird to me.
I like of.
To me, it really
What
seems.
about you change it to be the driving force for optimal health of a thriving and.
That's how it was before, and they wanted to change. They wanted to change of.
No, it said in before. It said in, not of.
It said in.
It said all kinds of things. It said in, of, and for. So do you want what do you want? For.
Well, if we say it makes it sound like the community is thriving and kind, whereas before when it said for, it made it sound like we were promoting it. So however we phrase it, I would just like to phrase it in a way that says that we are promoting the thriving, that we are promoting the kindness, or whatever word we put in place of kind.
Mm-hmm. Right, I agree.
I just think we should change one of the fours.
Can't you say to be the driving force of
agree.
optimal health for a thriving and kind global community? Just swap them.
We said that before, but it does read weird. To be the
It's better than 4 and 4.
Say that again.
It's better than 4 and 4.
It is better than 4 and 4. I agree. It is better than 4 and 4. It just still reads a little odd. To be the driving force of optimal health for a thriving and kind global community.
I like it like that with of and for. I think that works.
What's everyone think?
Can't live with it.
And then we need to attack the word kind.
I like kind because really I've seen a lot of kindness, be kind. If anything, be kind. I've seen a lot of that marketing around. I know that might be kind of just to this time in this moment, but I mean, we can always change a vision statement a couple of years down the road.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I really think that we need to just, what we want to promote, what we want to say who we are is that we are a driving force of optimal health, that we want people to thrive and to flourish. And we want to be promoting kindness in our community. I think this is, I like this.
I have to say, I think it's pretty beautiful. You know, I really do like it. What does everyone think? Let's go ahead and let's get a little pulse check here. If you'll type in the chat box, what do you think? What do you think?
So I would actually, I would like to include equitable because it's such like
Thriving, equitable, and kind. Can we do them both?
Yeah.
That I could live with better. Kind by itself says we have so little control over that.
Okay. So to be the driving force of optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community.
Yeah.
It actually reads better with that extra word, interestingly.
Yeah.
All right, let's type in the chat box. Yay, nay. Ideas if you want to change. We got some yeses, goods. Yes, yes, I like it. So far, so good. Lots of agreement, excitement even. Yay, okay, yes. Anyone disagree? Any feedback on how it should be changed? Change of to towards, Les says. To be the driving force toward optimal health instead of. To be the driving force toward optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community. Is Les, do you like that better? Cindy loves it. It really is beautiful. I have to say, this is a very, very nice vision. What does everyone think about using toward instead of? To be the driving force toward optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community.
Towards with an S.
Say that again.
Towards with an S.
No.
No, it's actually one without an S.
He put an S, I thought.
Yeah, but
I'd say to be the driving force towards optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community.
Or,
I would
huh?
say S.
okay, Catherine says she likes that it implies focus and direction. So one person at least said to instead of toward. To be the driving force to optimal health. What do you think about that? To instead of toward?
No.
Okay.
Towards with an S.
Towards with an S is a little, it's a little, no, concern, no, it's not quite the same. I think
Toward.
toward. All right, I'm gonna read it again. Now that we've wordsmithed it, and if anyone has feedback, we'll look at changing it. To be the driving force toward optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community. Pretty awesome.
I think it's awesome too. And for me, it gets to what we were saying earlier, that Big Bend AHEC should be recognized by our citizens as doing these major activities, accomplishing these major things in the field of health throughout our communities. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's this statement that says we want our citizens to be able to say that,
yeah,
and believe that and know that.
That's good, Cindy. Really good.
And I want to add to it's something that I can believe in, you know, not just saying it for an organization, something you can actually feel and believe in.
Great, Calandra, really nice. Anyone disagree with this or have other thoughts? Les, you're a rock star. Seriously, that was really nice. Yeah, Emily says toward and towards are apparently interchangeable. I can tell you that it reads a lot better without the S, a lot better.
I agree. But neither person is wrong, is what I'm getting at.
No, it's not wrong. It's just, it's all about.
I agree. I like it without the S. And I said that's more common in America as well. You live in the UK?
I can't even type. Yeah, toward is American and towards is more English, but then I study a lot of languages and I tend to go that direction. So I'm good with toward.
All right. Everyone like it? Can everyone live with it?
Yes.
Wait, we got.
I mean, actually.
Yes. Keep typing. Yes, yes.
No, it's good.
I like it. This is so nice. Yes, yes, yes. Lots of see. Okay. Lots of exclamation points. This is good. I think people are excited. This is a very, very nice mission statement.
Okay, not to throw a wrench in it, but I really do like recognized. But you get, I mean, to be the recognized driving force toward.
I mean, let me just say, being recognized is nice, but is that really your goal? Is that really your pie in the sky? Like,
yeah, no, I heard what Cindy said. I just,
I can just tell you that if you are the driving force, you will be recognized. you will totally be recognized.
You know what, that's true, but we are the leading provider of tobacco cessation services across the Big Bend. We help thousands of people, through the grant year, and we're still not recognized. So, I think it is different things.
Yeah, I hear you.
Are a driving force.
I think that that shouldn't be in the vision personally. I think recognition should maybe be a goal, and you could come up with some strategies toward that goal, because obviously when you get recognition, then you're going to get more people wanting to throw some money at you and help you with your goals. But I do think that it's more of a goal than a vision. I think the vision is pie in the sky, your dream for your organization, and to be the driving force toward optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community is to me like beautiful, just a beautiful vision. All right, Emily says we. Yolanda says see. I don't see anyone disagreeing. All right, and Kristen, let's not forget too, when we get to the goals, let's make sure we have recognition in there somewhere, okay?
Yeah, there was something someone already said that I really liked about recognition in North Florida or something.
Yeah. All right, we have a vision, we have a mission. Excellent, good job, really, really good job. What I'd like to do now is focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion, because as I mentioned, several are now doing statements around this. Some call them inclusion statements, some call them diversity statements. One moment, let me see here. All right, can you see that? Talk to me because I can't see.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, so National says, NAO welcomes and accepts diversity in the broadest context to recognize, value, and learn from all people of varying cultural backgrounds, regardless and inclusive of age, physical, mental ability, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, language, national origin, religion, socioeconomic status, and geographic region. If you're going to list all those things, I'm actually seeing some things that are missing. Here's an inclusion statement from Northeast Florida. Northeast Florida AHEC values all people, including but not limited to all nationalities, socio and economic backgrounds, abilities, races, genders, religious perspectives, sexual orientations, and gender identities in everything we do. We welcome the unique insights and perspectives of all persons in our quest to fulfill our mission. What do you think of having some kind of DEI statement? Especially considering the fact that you serve the underserved that probably may fall into these.
I think we should. And I think that that one statement in the vision about the global community says that we are truly looking broadly.
Yeah. Does everyone agree? Cool, let's work on it then.
I liked the term in the broadest sense.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think we have to list all the different parameters if we go with something like the broadest sense, because we do want to welcome all peoples, period, in the broadest sense kind of thing. Because this not only is about the clients that we serve or our partnerships, but it's also about future employees feeling welcome and feeling a part, no matter where they come from, where they are in life.
I like the second half of the last one you just showed. I
did too. Yeah.
We welcome the unique insights and perspectives of all persons in our quest to fulfill our mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that we want to steal somebody's, but if we could play with that.
Yeah, we can definitely play with that. Let me put it down and welcomes. We definitely won't copy it, but I'm going to put it here and then we can wordsmith it. All right, Big Bend AHEC welcomes the unique insights and perspectives of all people in the quest to fulfill our mission. Should we say all people regardless of any perceived or actual differences, or not?
I don't know, but Les's note in the chat is great.
Oh, let me try to get the chat back up. Thank you. Every time I switch sources, I'm not able to see.
He says,
we celebrate the diversity of our planet and look to the strengths of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend. Wow, that's beautiful.
he's on a roll. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love it.
Are you
love it.
Language professor? I'm just, wow, that is very nice. All right, let me capture it. So let's see here. Celebrate the diversity and look to the strength. Oops. Sorry. Look to the strengths of all community members as we endeavor to improve. We celebrate the diversity of our planet, and I don't know that we need a comma there, and look to the strengths of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend.
I like it just like that.
That's
done.
Pretty
Done.
beautiful, actually. What about the of our planet?
Yeah, how about just celebrates diversity?
Big Bend AHEC celebrates diversity and looks to the strengths of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend. What about looks to? Let's think about how to change looks to. Welcomes, no.
Appreciates.
Appreciates, yeah. Appreciates. Big Bend AHEC celebrates diversity and appreciates the strengths of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend. It's kind of nice. What do you think, Les? We wordsmithed it a little bit. What do you think? Talk to us.
I think that's really nice. The thing about it, we're almost drawing on the strengths more than just appreciating it. We're inspired by it, but we're pulling from that strength. So
But
it's
values.
but it's also using that in some way.
What's the word we're looking for, Les? I hear you. And it
I
is
like values. John said values.
I think it's bigger than values. I think it's pulling.
I agree. As you say it, I think it's more to.
Say that
We're
again.
really incorporating all of those strengths. We use it's active utilization of it in whatever way we say it.
Yes. Cindy.
How about relies upon?
What do you guys think? Relies on. I almost think what Les was saying was bigger than that, not just relying on, but actually pulling in, actually actively seeking the strength. Incorporates would be a word. What's another word for incorporates?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a weird word, right?
Utilize.
Exactly.
Uses. I think it's bigger than utilizes or uses. Integrates.
How about inspired by?
Yeah, Catherine has some nice language.
Oh, let's hear. What did Catherine say?
Oh.
What did Catherine say?
I like inspired by.
Inspired by?
She says inspired by the unique perspectives of all community members.
How am I not seeing that? Let's see.
It's in the chat. She
Oh,
just
I see.
added it.
Okay. Celebrates diversity and is inspired. Whoops. Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Inspired by the, instead of strengths, unique perspectives. Unique perspectives. I like that. That is nice. Perspectives. Do we leave as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend, or take that out?
I say leave it.
Okay, let me read it and tell me what you think. Big Bend AHEC celebrates diversity and is inspired by the unique perspectives of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend.
Sounds nice.
Say that again.
Sounds nice.
It does sound nice.
Just a question for thought. When we get inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. I was thinking the same thing. I almost, so, you know, the biggest part of diversity, equity, and inclusion is inclusion. And it's the part that's often overlooked. How do we capture inclusion? Because I do think that it's more than just being inspired. I like inspired by, I want to be inspired by, but I really think that it's bigger than just being inspired. It's like including people.
Welcomes. Big Bend AHEC celebrates diversity and welcomes the unique perspectives.
Okay. That actually.
It's closer.
Yeah, it is closer. I agree.
Embraces.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yes.
That is nice. Big Bend AHEC celebrates diversity, embraces the unique perspectives of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend. That's really, really nice, I think. But I'd love to hear what you think. What do you think? Does anyone not like this? All right, tell me if you like it in the chat box. All right, Kristen likes it. Calandra, yes. All right, Ambria, Jill, John, yes. Catherine, yay. I love exclamation points when you really like it. All right, Desiree. Anyone not like it? I think we have a DEI statement then. I think we have a really, really nice DEI statement. This is excellent. Good job, everyone. Truly, really nice job. Good work. All right. Good. I'm just super impressed with you. We are making really good progress. How's everyone feeling? Yay! Let's move on then to our next step, which is going to be values. And I'll share some examples of values. So let's see here. Alaska. Now, I'm not sure why, but the examples that I found, everyone put their values and they put sentences. It's not necessary to put sentences, but you know, from my experience doing this for lots of different organizations, I can tell you that some people don't put, I'd say probably more people don't put sentences than do, but it's possible that the first AHECs noticed that the others were doing it and they did the same. So let's just take a look at them. Alaska. Collaboration, innovation, social justice, integrity, and curiosity. Very nice values. And you can see what they say underneath them. Collaboration, we honor and recognize our partners. Innovation, we're constantly looking for creative solutions. Social justice, we advocate for the underserved population and communities. Integrity, we do the right thing, even if it's not the easy choice. And curiosity, we continue to learn and grow as an agency. Beautiful, beautiful work by Alaska. Here's one from AT Still University AHEC. Community health and well-being, interprofessional collaboration, adaptability, and cultural proficiency. So under the first one, values the health of all communities and the well-being of their members. Then values an interdisciplinary approach to education and health practices. Values, I don't think values is necessary to put in values, by the way. Responsiveness to changes in community needs. Values recognition, inclusion, and respect of all cultures. All right, let's look at one more. Mountain AHEC, excellence, diversity, integrity, collaboration, and improvement. We deliver quality activities and services that our customers and partners value. We promote equity and inclusivity. We act with fairness, transparency, and the highest level of ethics. We value partnerships and support interprofessional approaches, and we continuously innovate and improve our work. Personally, I think that the first and the third of the ones that I read are I think the nicest ones in terms of values that kind of encompass everything. But let me know what you think. What are your values? What are your values? And we can then go through, do you want to have a statement after your values as well? Or do you want to make values that spell something, like if it's 5 values, something that kind of encompasses what you do, like health, for example, HEALTH, just saying, tell me what you think. Right now, why don't we brainstorm some values? Just brainstorm. Hang on, let me open the chat back up here. Okay. Excellence, integrity. Yeah, go ahead and give me some. And we're just going to brainstorm at this point. No wrong answers.
Collaboration, recognition.
Okay.
Like I feel meet people where they are. Or that boots on the ground.
So we could do an acronym like our name.
Yeah.
A for action, H for health,
Yeah.
D for excellence, and C for community. I mean, that's what we are.
You could even do BB, cultural competency. Hang on, competency, community inclusion, betterment, adaptability, equity. Let me know if I missed anything. I'm trying to look at the chat box at the same time. I think I have everything, but let me know if I missed anything, please. Let me
Creative, innovative.
Okay, hang on just a moment. Let me try to change it to line spacing options. One moment. Okay. Creative. Innovative. It did the same thing. All right. Growing, empowering. All right, which of these jump at you? And do you want to spell out like BB AHEC or anything else?
I think spelling out BB AHEC might be limiting unless people are way more creative than me with synonyms.
What if you want to spell something else out, what might it be? What encompasses who you are?
Health.
Health. Let's just play with that. Health. Let's just play with it. All right, give me an H.
Oh, give you a what?
Give me an H.
Other than health.
Harmony.
All right. What are some others?
Helpful.
What are some others? You said health equity before. Let's just play with this. E. Excellence.
Empowering. I thought that was a good word.
A. I think someone said that. Let me go back up. Adaptability and action.
Accessible.
That's a good one.
I might move that to the front. That's really good. All right. L.
Leadership for sure under L, I think.
That's good. Leadership is just positive influence on other people. That could include, you know, collaboration. It could include all kinds of things.
Lifelong learning.
See, anyone got a C?
Teaching, because we do so much education.
Okay.
Transforming.
That's powerful. That's a good word.
Already.
Did I miss something else? What's an H? Another H. We struggled with H's before.
Helpful.
We got helpful.
We already have helpful.
Harmony, health, helpful, health equity. Now, in looking at the things that we have, holistic. Holistic?
Nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Very nice, Kristen. All right, so let's take a look and see if we're missing anything. The first H, which of these kind of jumps at you? Health equity, helpful, and harmony. Keeping in mind, we probably have accessibility later, which might be health equity.
I also found heartfelt. I really like harmony.
It just reminds me of a dating site for some reason.
I like heartfelt.
Their mic, we're getting some electronic interference. Just mute yourself unless you're speaking. Thank you. Much better. Someone was saying something?
I like heartfelt. It makes it sound like we're compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be with our clients. It's part of what we do.
So heartfelt as a value? Heartfelt is an adjective. Is there a way to make it a value?
And try to keep the letter H at the same time.
Yeah, that could be hard. I mean, it could be hard. You know,
Service with a heart or something. I mean, does it?
Well, now this is maybe where the sentences come in handy, right? So that for the ones that had sentences afterward, we could build it in.
Are we trying to get everything like on a single page, like the example that you showed us? So if you do sentences, that might be a bit problematic. Is that correct?
What Jackson County had, right?
Okay.
Do you want me to show you that again, just to show you that it is possible if you want?
I think it would be helpful to see it again.
You want to see it again?
Please.
Okay, one moment. Yeah, because they did Gadsden Leeds, which is pretty long, but I thought that it was excellent, like really, really good. Hang on, let me find it. There we are. Great, accountable, diverse, sustainable, dependable, ethical, neighborly, leadership, effective, adaptive, determined, and stable.
So maybe we could do Big Bend AHEC instead of just BB. And then that way we could have like I for inclusion, you know, or E for equity, excellence.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that.
So kill health and have it be AHEC?
Well, let's just save that and then maybe try to build another.
That sounds good. One moment and I'll pull back up the document. And the nice thing about this is we just kind of see how it works. And if it doesn't work, we try something else. So let's try it. Let's try Big Bend AHEC. And that's not too many. That's not too many. So B. We got to have a couple B's here. So we need some good B's.
Beneficial.
Beneficial.
Ooh, beneficial. That's a good word.
Yeah, it is. Betterment.
Betterment. I like betterment too.
Well, we got 2 opportunities for B's, so let me put that down. What about I? Integrity?
Integrity, inclusion, innovative.
Yeah, lots of options. Too bad we don't have more I's. Okay.
I know.
G.
Growth.
Say that again.
Growth.
Growth. Anything else for G?
Generosity.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I like that. All right. You got betterment. What's an E?
Excellence.
Empowering.
Yes, there's a good one.
I like excellence. N?
Effective, maybe? For E, I was still on E.
Yeah, that's effective is good too. Really good.
Networking.
And actually, we've got another need for a knee. Networking.
That's good because that points towards our partnerships.
What else for an N?
I was thinking national, but that may be too broad.
Yeah. Okay, let's just leave networking for now and we can come back to it if we come up with another N. D.
Dedicated or dependable.
Diverse.
Diverse and dependable.
Diverse, lots of good D. A.
For N, how about natural?
Okay.
Kind of like pointing towards our global community and the earth and everything else.
Nutrition.
Nutrition. That's it. That's the one. Good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that to the front since you seem to like it better. A, adaptability.
That's a good one too. I like adaptability.
What are some other A's?
Accessible.
Yep, that was the word I was thinking of.
Good, that's a good one too. H, we had a whole bunch of them. Holistic. What else did we have? Harmony, helpful, health equity, heartfelt, and holistic.
Is it harmonious? Is that different from harmony? I don't know.
I like harmonious is actually maybe better. Harmonious, helpful, health equity, heartfelt, and what was the other one I said?
Healing.
Healing. Ooh, that's a new one. There was another.
Like healing.
Holistic. We got a lot of H's to choose from. Okay.
A couple more N's in the chat.
Oh, can you read them to me? I'm sorry.
Notable.
Neighborly.
G for genuine.
What about bold for B?
Ooh, nice, Miss Cindy.
That's good.
Yeah, that kind of gives us some strength.
Yeah, and our,
I like that.
That is nice.
I like it as the first word too. The
Yeah.
first value, bold, catches your attention.
I like it too. Well, then let's decide between betterment and beneficial.
Betterment. Because what we're looking for is
Yeah.
the betterment of our clients, whether it's their health, tobacco cessation, better health insurance. I mean, we don't want to be just beneficial. We're promoting their whole improvement, their whole betterment.
Good. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. Let's look at the I's: integrity, inclusive, innovative. Now, keep in mind,
important.
Keep in mind, if we were going for inclusive, that we also have accessible as a possibility as well. Integrity.
I like inclusive better than accessible.
Okay.
I like integrity.
I like integrity too. Integrity is, to me, one of the most powerful values an organization can have. In fact, 2 of the 3 I shared with you before had integrity as one of their values.
I like integrity too.
Okay. Everyone okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's look at growth, generosity, and genuine.
Kind of like genuine.
I did too. Unless we change generosity to generous.
Yeah, generous.
But I still like genuine.
I like genuine too.
What's everyone else think? Genuine over generous and growth? Let's have some types in the chat box. Genuine over growth or generous?
Generous, we can take. I'm not crazy about that.
Okay.
Sounds like monetized to me.
All right. Looks like everybody so far is saying genuine. Everyone like genuine? Everyone, okay, genuine it is. The second B, betterment. Any other ideas, or everyone like betterment?
Just got to be more B words.
I know, right?
Where's Les? Les, give us a good B word.
I know. What happened to Les? He's our brilliant word. I mean, seriously, Les. The wordsmithing and the creativity that you've had has just really been awesome. We need less. So yeah, if somebody can Google
benevolent. How about benevolent?
Balanced? No.
Balance. Ooh.
Benchmark.
Say that again.
Benchmark. I got up the B's.
Is someone Googling, values that start with the B or something?
Adjectives, yeah.
Yeah.
Best. We could be best something.
Oh,
what about beneficial?
Okay, we deleted that before.
Oh, we did? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all starting to smush together.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay. It's getting later in the day. I totally get it. We did it before though, so I think we'll do away with it again. All right, we have betterment, benevolent, balanced, benchmark, and best so far.
Benefit? No. Never mind.
I still like betterment.
I'm tired, Allison. I've been in meetings since early this morning.
I know. I'm sorry. 1.5 more hours.
That's all.
I know. And after the values, we'll take a break. Betterment. I'm hearing betterment.
Yes.
Yeah, for lack of a better word.
Brilliance and brave.
Brave.
I don't like brave.
Old already.
but they worked.
Okay, you want to be brave? Boundless. Someone, oh, Catherine wrote boundless.
Oh, I
too.
like
That's good.
boundless.
That's good.
That is good. Catherine, Catherine, you're like a less now. This is awesome. All right, so we have betterment, benevolent, balanced, benchmark, best, brilliance, brave, and boundless. Which of those resonate with you?
I like boundless.
Yeah, boundless is nice.
I do too.
Boundless.
All right. Everyone agree?
Yes. Yeah, I like that because it's got a couple of meanings, too.
John?
Works for me.
And boundless takes us into our kind universe, our planet. I mean,
Yeah, it does.
Right, Les?
Let's look at ease, excellence, empowering, effective, encompassing. I'm a fan personally of excellence. I feel like the word empowered is so overused, and I think that it doesn't capture, like I actually say equip instead of empower. So equipping to me is way more powerful than just empowering somebody. Empowering somebody is saying, here, you have the power to do what you want to do, but not necessarily giving the tools and the resources to be effective. Equipping is actually giving them the tools and the resources.
Yeah, I was going to say put equipping down because that is what we do. We do empower, equip, because when we educate, of course, educate's a good E word. That's what we're doing in a sense, is that we're empowering them for a new lifestyle. We're either equipping them for a new lifestyle, for better health, optimal health,
Right. Okay, so we have excellence, empowering, effective, encompassing, equipping, and educate.
Well, since we have 2 E's, let's do excellence first.
Okay. And then the second one would be what?
I really like effective. I mean, if
Okay.
Empathetic.
Yeah.
Ooh, empathetic.
That's a good one.
Earnest.
That's kind of what genuine, honest, though.
You know what? I forgot. But wait, we forgot the C. Compassion?
Yes, compassion, caring.
Encouraging is another one under E. Sorry, I'm trying to read through the list that's pulling up.
But aren't we empowering our clients to improve their health?
I think you're equipping them.
Okay.
That's just me. I'm so big on this word, like empowering versus equipping. I use it a lot in my leadership training. It's just me personally, in looking at the definitions, I think, okay, for H, we could use honorable or humanitarian.
Yeah, I like humanitarian. Of course, I like honorable.
All right, let's go back to the E's. So we have excellence, and then down here we have empathetic, encouraging, empowering, effective, encompassing, equipping, and educate.
I really like both effective and educate.
Okay. We have, okay, so what about excellence and effective?
I kind of like excellence first because that defines who we are. Yeah. The second E could be what we do, So
educate or equip or?
In any of those, any action one.
Okay.
What do y'all think?
Like equip or equipping. Just like Gabrielle said, we are equipping them. We are giving them services and the tools to better their health, and not just saying, "Oh, you can do it," but we're actually giving them the resources to better their health. So I kind of do like equipping.
Good job, Am. Good job.
And I second that.
Yep.
Anyone disagree so far? All right, let's move back up to N, nutrition, networking, natural, notable, neighborly.
kind of like neighborly, because that's, again, bringing it back to our partnerships. It's kind of like wrapping it around. So all of these things are helping promote our mission and our vision and our DEI. Just like the boundless, that's also going back to our DEI, you know, that there's just no parameters, that we're inclusive, that we're all encompassing.
Okay. Does everyone agree?
Oh, it's just.
Wait, what was the word?
Neighborly.
Oh, yeah. I just thought of instead of nutrition, nourishing.
Ooh,
I like nourishing better. I like nourishing better.
Actually, that has a double entendre, and it's good in both ways, right?
Yes, that's good. Yep.
I like nourishing.
Now, who came up with that?
Catherine.
Allison. Yeah.
Allison? Catherine.
No, that was me. Unless Catherine did too. Great minds do think alike.
I really like nourishing.
Yep, let's go with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone agree?
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have dedicated, dependable, diverse.
There's got to be another word.
I think those are three very good words.
Really like dedicated.
Dedicated, probably, or dependable. I don't know.
Dedicated to me is a little more powerful. Jill says she likes diverse.
I like diverse too.
Yeah, I like diverse.
Yeah. When I mean,
There's so much. It's kind of like some of the other words that we've talked about too. I mean, if we're going with trying to think a little bit differently, that's the only reason why I'm just not leaning towards that word. It just seems like every time you turn around, that word is there. And if we're trying to be a little bit different, that's the only reason why I was
Well,
going.
you already have some different things in here. Now you've got bold and boundless, and you've got a lot of things that I've not seen in other. Catherine says deliberate.
But I think diverse is kind of a big word to be using right now to show that we're inclusive of all and that we are diverse.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. I think we are dedicated. We are bold. We are boundless. We are, but are we diverse? Or are we looking at our diverse populations? And we've said that we are. So I don't know that diverse fits here as well. I lean towards dedicated.
I like deliberate, actually.
I like that too,
As
Allison,
we're
if I
going,
just
yeah.
look at it.
That implies a nice focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole activity is deliberate.
So you like dedicated?
Our decisions.
I like deliberate and
better
dedicated.
than
Either one of
dedicated?
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like deliberate better than dedicated.
Okay, Catherine, good job. Everyone likes deliberate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's move on to A, adaptability, accessible, accepting, Kristen says. Adaptable. Accessible, accepting.
Approachable.
What do you think? Are you responsive to changes in community needs?
I like accessible, accessible because we're providing access.
Okay.
And yet accessible. And yet we're also accepting and kind of I like accessible.
Accessible, does everyone agree with accessible?
I like it.
Those words, yes.
Yeah. I mean, do you have another word you prefer that's not on there?
Well, I got my A's in front of me. Adaptable. Did we say that already? Or
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Would you rather be adaptable or accessible?
Accessible.
Does everyone agree with accessible?
I'd rather be accessible because we want to be accessible to our clientele.
Yeah.
Aware. I'm just
Like
reading.
accessible.
Does everyone like accessible?
My favorite A word doesn't fit.
What is it?
Asinine.
That's funny. All right. Everyone can live with accessible?
Can we talk about accommodate?
You want to
Maybe accommodating?
Accommodating. Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
I
guess that's the same as accessible.
Actually, accessible is a little more powerful than accommodating. To me.
Yeah, I think accommodating is a little more passive.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Accessible.
H, harmonious, helpful, health equity, heartfelt, healing, holistic, humanitarian, honorable.
I like holistic a lot.
Holistic, that I know when someone said holistic, everyone lit up.
I also like healing.
Healing?
I think holistic is an encompassing word. I like it.
Yeah, it is nice. I like it too. So holistic and healing so far are the two that seem to be the most liked. What does everyone think?
I like those best. Well, and I also like humanitarian. But holistic is almost encompassing of all of those words.
Yeah, I agree. John says holistic.
Yeah.
Holistic. Okay. Is everyone good with holistic?
Yes. Yes, definitely over healing. Healing takes
Okay,
us
I'm with
into
you
a
on that. Holistic
medical
it
model.
is. All right, Les came up with evidence-based over equipping. What do you think? Stick with equipping or go with evidence-based?
I like evidence-based.
Yeah, evidence-based. We want to show that
Evidence-based.
we know our data.
Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Engaged, someone said. Catherine said engaged. What do you think?
I just was thinking about it from the perspective that we do actively engage our communities, and engage other programs and other groups to build everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Good one. Very good.
All right, so what's your preference? Equipping, evidence-based, or engaged?
I like evidence-based.
Encouraging.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's also encouraging.
I think we deleted that previously.
Okay, all right.
From another E earlier.
Exceptional.
We have excellence already.
Okay.
Hold on for me a minute. Okay, Val?
All right, John says evidence-based. Calandra and Jill also say evidence-based.
And I like how that flows after holistic, to be honest.
All right, let's try it. Finally, Tamara's about to type something, I think. We have compassionate, caring, certifiable, comprehensive.
Committed?
Oh, we're certifiable.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Remember, this is the last word, so it should be something.
Committed?
What's that?
We should be committed to.
Committed.
Well, comprehensive kind of means everything above, but.
But we're committed to our mission statement.
I like
What
committed.
about community?
I like committed.
Ooh, yeah, community's good
I
too.
think that would be a
Nice.
nice ending because that's what we're all about is our community.
Community
That's
driven.
nice.
Pardon?
Community driven, or do we want to do a single word?
I think most things have been a single word.
Except for evidence.
Except for evidence-based. Community, John says.
We could do the alliteration and do community centered.
I wouldn't add words unless you have to. But you can.
I like community.
Oops, I didn't mean to send that to only you, Allison. Whoops.
All right, compassionate, caring, certifiable, comprehensive, committed, community, or community-centered. What are your preferences? Committed or community, Emily says. Community, Calandra says. John also says community. Catherine says community.
Well, how often have we used the word community though in our other wording?
Well, this is about values.
No, I know, but I'm saying, will they have seen the word community a lot already, is what I'm asking. And does that matter?
Let's go back up and take a peek. Let's just,
like in the mission statement and in our values.
Yeah, that's worth looking at. Okay, mission to provide health education and promote partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved, rural, and minority populations. Vision
So
to thriving for thriving, kind, and equitable global community. DEI statement. Yeah, you got a good point there. You've got a really good point. We talk again about community members, but
I just think the word is overused, so maybe we should pick something else.
Okay.
Or you can think of it as community is bringing you back to your mission, your vision.
Yeah.
True.
Circling you back.
That is a good point. What do you think?
I mean, you could be committed to all of the above, so that's why committed. Compassionate, I think, shows that we care. I mean, those are other ones. I just think community is kind of overused already.
Okay. Let's try to see if we can come to an agreement. Compassion.
But I'm not dying on that hill, so
all right,
I'll go with it.
Les says having community throughout is aligned. It's true. I agree.
I agree with Les. Yeah.
Karen says community. I
It
think
looks like majorities picked community.
yeah, they have.
I can see.
Even
Allison, you direct message that to me, but that was.
Can you live with community?
Oh, I absolutely can. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me go back up and just read it and tell me what you think. Because sometimes when you read it out loud, it might strike a chord that you've missed something, or it'll be like, wow, this is perfect. Okay. Bold. And by the way, let me know if I need to change the form of any of these words. Bold, integrity, genuine, boundless, excellence, nourishing, deliberate, accessible, holistic, evidence-based community.
There's two that jump out at me.
Yeah.
They're all adjectives. Should it be excellent?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I agree.
And what was the other one?
Integrity. I like the word, but I don't know that it's parallel in terms of parts of speech.
Right. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Okay.
I don't know how to change it, but.
And yeah, I don't know how to change it either. A synonym that begins with I that means integrity. Sure.
What would the adjective be?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the problem.
There's not an adjective form of integrity, actually.
So maybe it works. Maybe it is what it is.
I hear you. I agree. It is a little different. But we have other things that are different. Community, I think, is also not an adjective. Right?
Right. So it's okay. I like these words.
These are great words. Let me read it one more time, and then if we all have consensus that we can live with these, we'll take a break. So, and if not, we'll take a break and then we'll come back and try to get our brains around other words. Bold, integrity, genuine, boundless, excellent, nourishing, deliberate, accessible, holistic, evidence-based community. What does everybody think? How do you feel about it? Yes, Karen says, good. Jill, yes. Catherine thinks it's great. Ambria, yes. John, yes. Calandra, yes.
Will our clients understand what we mean when we say evidence-based? Our healthcare professional partnerships will? But do our clients know that when we are serving, minorities in rural areas? I mean, think about fishermen on.
I think
in my opinion, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know it, I think it kind of sounds snappy. That's just my opinion.
Sound snappy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was my only
All right,
concern
we
is
have-
making sure they know what we mean.
So far,
I
we
think
have
that-
everybody saying yes. Does anyone disagree with any of this? All right, give yourselves a round of applause. We have gotten through mission, vision, DEI statement, and values, and we will now take a 6-minute break for a bio. Okay, so come back at 15:50 at 10 minutes till. Welcome back.
Thank you. This has been great.
You have, seriously. I really, really love this group of people. Allison, you are so fortunate to work with all these amazing people. I'm serious.
We are amazing.
Yeah. All right, we have people coming back online. I'll do a group photo once everyone gets online, okay? Uh-oh, did we just lose somebody? Got booted off, maybe? Yolanda, Kristen, Jill, Marianne. Samara.
Tanya had to go. She had a Department of Health emergency.
Aw. All right, Marianne, are you there? Kristen? Kristen, Marianne.
We have a class tonight and Marianne might be working. We have a diabetes class like shortly after this. And I think she might be.
I understand, trying to
Yeah.
juggle the things. I got it, no worries.
And sometimes we have to go through this process of calling everyone to make sure that they show up.
I know how that is. All right, I'll take, hang on, John is back. Let's admit him. Once he gets back in the room, we will take a group photo. All right, welcome back, John. Did you get booted? Cindy? Okay, let's all just
No,
take.
I'm fine. I booted myself.
Okay, no worries. All right, let's go ahead. Everybody smile. I'm gonna take a group photo. Smile. Lenore. Awesome. You look great. Thank you. Good job. All right, so let's get back to it. Really, really nice work so far in making progress toward all the things we have. The next thing I'd like to talk about are strategic priorities. And so let me actually go back. Let me go back to sharing the Gadsden County one because they had good strategic priorities. Hang on a second. I actually closed the document. Let me open it. There we go. And let me share it. Where did it go? All right. I don't know about you, but I think my brain is getting tired. So let me just try this again. It's late in the day and it is sometimes a little challenging. There it is. All right. So here you can see Gadsden County strategic priorities. It's a board of county commissioners. They have public health, safety, and quality of life, economic development and education, infrastructure and transportation, and environmental stewardship. A lot of times people work on strategic priorities before they work on goals because then it kind of helps them align everything. Now, it's not always necessary, but it certainly is something that many people do. Some people don't. In fact, I don't know that I think I found one. AHEC that had it. I didn't do an exhaustive search, but let me pull up the example of the one that I found. All right, whoever has their mic open, if you would just close it, because we can hear your background noise. Cherokee Health Systems, AHEC, their strategic priorities are increase diversity and distribution among healthcare professionals, enhance healthcare quality, and improve healthcare delivery to rural and underserved areas and populations. So my question to you is, would you like to do strategic priorities or just jump into goals? Do you know what your strategic priorities are? Okay.
I don't know if this is a strategic priority, but I would like for us to increase some of the web traffic that we should be getting at this point, given the full year that we spent in COVID.
That actually, if it's web traffic, that's a goal. So priorities are kind of these buckets where the goals fall into. So typically with priorities, people are going to have 3 to 5 maybe strategic priorities. And then the goals will fall into each of those kind of buckets. It could be around your program areas. It could be around your funding. It could be around where you want to be in the future. What do you all think?
I would like diversified revenue.
Okay, so let me start sharing here. One moment. Can everyone see the Word document? I can no longer see your, well, actually, let me quit PowerPoint and then I can see you again. Let me open the chat box.
And I guess that could be a goal too.
Okay, so Emily says if our one pager is going to say values over all the words we came up with, then we should change excellent back to excellence. Okay, I'll buy that. Everyone agree? All right, so tell me what you were saying about strategic priorities, diversify funding sources.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What else?
I'm not crazy about those examples that you showed. I guess,
yeah.
is there
I didn't have good examples. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, the AHECs didn't have a lot of good examples about their strategic priorities. So that's why I shared again the Gadsden County one. So you kind of probably know what your priorities are, right? Or no?
I think our priorities have been guiding what we have said so far.
Mm-hmm. So what are they?
Our priorities really have to do with being recognized, that the communities are improving because of our interventions, that the goals and descriptors that we have given, I think, address our priorities.
So do I hear you saying, Cindy, that you don't think that strategic priorities need to be stated and that we should just move on to goals? Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't saying that specifically, okay, but that may be the underlying message that, okay, it's a thought. I mean, I think everything we have said so far really says these are our priorities.
I like what Cindy said, but I also think that whether we do priorities or goals, this is the perfect place to address that a goal or a priority. For us, it's almost the same, meaning that for us to get recognition for what we do or to become just more noteworthy in the community so that people know the resources that we have to offer.
Yeah, and recognition is definitely a goal. Allison, how do you feel about moving into goals?
That's good.
Okay, so we'll just kind of move forward then into goals. Let me pull back up some goals here. I'm going to share with you some goals from New York State AHEC. Oh, shoot, hang on a second. Almost accidentally ended the meeting. That would have not been good. All right. So here are some goals, and you can see that they said they aligned their goals with the New York State Health Reform Agenda, as well as the strategic priorities of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So 3 overarching goals: diversity, prepare a diverse, culturally competent primary care workforce representative of the community served. Goal 2, distribution, improve the workforce distribution, particularly with medically underserved communities. And goal 3, practice transformation, develop and maintain a healthcare workforce that is prepared to deliver high quality care in a transforming healthcare delivery system with an emphasis on medically underserved communities. Let's see what I have next here. I have objectives under that. So that wasn't really the best the best example of goals, but I also didn't see a lot of goals on a lot of AHECs. I did have one actually that they drilled it down to objectives and goals. So let me share that. They actually drilled it down to objectives and strategies. But some people might think that their goals, some of these things are actually goals. So it really, some of it is semantics. So let me just share with you so you can get an example. They did a really nice job of being very, very specific about what they were doing. So let me do this. So under goals or objectives, specific accomplishments that need to be done in order to achieve the goals. And they're often milestones. So here are some objectives with the university I mentioned earlier, AHEC. Increase visibility and awareness. How about that? Now this is listed as an objective, but I actually think this is a goal that would be a really good one for you all. Increase visibility and awareness of your organization, maybe not just for internal partners, but for external as well. Improve evaluation processes in order to demonstrate the value. Strengthen partnerships with individuals engaged in interprofessional education and practice. Increase participation in programs through stabilization and expanded partnerships, and increase knowledge and skill sets across staff. Underneath that are strategies, which are also a part of objectives. They make up objectives to reach goals. So here is an example from the same university, AHEC, of strategies, and then they drilled it down to tactics as well. So their strategy is develop new publication material to share within their organization. Tactics include partner with communications and marketing to develop branding, identify virtual and hard copy material to develop, and create consistent messaging across programs and materials. You can see they have year 1, year 2, and continual in that. I do like having timelines. Measurements, development of a brand, new hard copy materials developed, new virtual materials developed, website updated, and survey how students, faculty, and staff learned of the organization. So I think that it would be a good time to just work on goals. We only have less than an hour, so I know we're not going to get probably beyond goals. So let me pull back up that document and get out of PowerPoint. All right, can everyone see the Word document right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let me find the chat box again. All right, I got it. So goals, thinking back to what we've done so far with your mission, your vision, your values, your DEI statement. What are your goals? Now, I like smarter goals, and I also like to put responsible leads. And so for me, I like to have what your goal is, state your goal, who's the responsible lead for that goal, and when are you going to do this by? So let me see if I can go ahead and insert a table while you are thinking about what we're going to do. All right. Goal 1, give me a goal.
Isn't this where we wanted recognition?
Yes, visibility and awareness.
Recognition. And I liked the language that the one that I just shared with you had. Let me see if I can bring that back up. I won't bring it up, but I'll share it with you. Increased visibility and awareness. And it may be in order to achieve recognition, but let's see here. So go ahead and phrase it for me, somebody.
I like that, increase the visibility and awareness.
Yeah, I like that statement too.
Because I think the recognition kind of makes it, but look, what about me? What about me?
Exactly. Let me write Big Bend here and then I'll just copy. So how are you going to do that?
I kind of like the idea of like a brand. You know, everybody knows Nike's Just Do It. Maybe we need something for us like that about optimal health or something. Just maybe developing a brand. We don't need to do it today. I'm just saying, maybe something like that would be just a quick snap that could just identify a brief phrase. I mean, that's what all marketing is. I mean, everybody knows the Chick-fil-A logo just by the little chicken head, or the Nike and the Check and the Just Do It. So maybe we need something like that that strongly emphasizes Big Bend AHEC. So maybe developing a brand.
Are you suggesting a new logo or what are you suggesting?
No, I really like our logo. I think if we just maybe had a word logo to go with it, like Just Do It. You know what I mean?
Like a tagline?
You mean a slogan?
Yeah, maybe something that just has that's catchy.
Okay.
Just developing a brand so that whatever we have, is just everywhere, vastly marketed,
Who would be the responsible lead on that?
Do we need a marketing type person at some point?
If you already have a marketing type person, then yes, but you would need someone internal to coordinate with that person. So who would be the person that would deal with this?
Well, all of us are so busy.
I know.
But maybe like Yolanda, because Yolanda has done so much outreach and marketing. I mean, she was in the music business, so she knows promotion,
Yolanda, would you be willing to take that on as the lead?
I don't know. Yeah,
she'd be great at it.
Yeah, she'd great at it, but I don't
see
want
what
to
you're
throw
all
anybody
doing
under
here.
the bus. Well, and I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. It's just, girl, you got that skill set.
Yeah. Yolanda, would you be willing to add this to your plate and maybe give yourself longer time?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Well, and if nothing else, maybe we could just hire a firm and then Yolanda could be the internal person to like
meeting with them.
Yeah.
So when do you think you would do that by?
If you want me to be honest, I have some things that are on the table to be due by the end of this month, not until July.
Yeah, we could say even like a year, we don't have to have anything, immediate, because that takes time. It takes a lot of thought. So even a year might be early,
I don't think it'd take a year to develop a tagline, but maybe we try December.
Yeah, it's not going to take me a year. I could say December be my deadline, but I could very easily have it before that.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
December would be great.
What are other ways to increase visibility and awareness?
Our social media.
Yes. How interactive is your social media?
It's getting better. We use Constant Contact now, but we just have to figure out the person who's going to be doing that, because the one that was doing it is not with us.
Hopefully with a little time. So I've been here for 4 days, but hopefully with a little time and training, I can kind of start helping, taking a role in that and trying to make sure that it's happening on a regular schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. So I already mentioned working with Catherine on that.
Awesome. So Catherine, would you be taking the lead?
I'll help you, Catherine.
Catherine?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know necessarily taking the lead immediately, but eventually having me become the primary could potentially be a thing as we move forward.
That
So
sounds
Kristen
great.
and Catherine?
Yep.
Okay. And when do you think you can work on that?
I was hoping to hand it over and start training her next week. That was my goal.
She would be learning, but she wouldn't be able to like mass market. So she's in the, I would say probably.
Yeah, the mass
within about
marketing is
3
going to be a little
months.
down the road, but
So,
introducing it, we'll start
Yeah,
introducing it as soon as
this
possible.
isn't saying everything's going to be perfect in a week. It's saying you're going to be working toward making it better in a week.
Right. I'm going to introduce it to her next week, hopefully, if we can
Excellent.
fit
So
it in within the next 2 weeks.
A week from now, just that you guys will have contact and start working on improving engagement?
Yeah, just to introduce her to it. So when flyers need to be posted, things like that, that's a baby step in.
Good.
And then after that, we could take, more of a brainstorming meeting.
What's another way to increase visibility and awareness?
I would like to see all of us as a unit, because we're all working with the public and partnerships, promote having everyone go to our social media and our website. It's something that I've been doing every time I go to our community partners. Every time I have to get up and speak, I ask everyone, please go to our social media, like and follow, please check out. Now I'm starting to look at our website. You'll see what we do. You'll see what our latest programs are. But that has to be a collaborative effort with everyone.
Did I hear you say you want staff to engage?
Staff to engage, for it to become second nature, to be referring to our social media and also our website, because now we've done such a great job with bringing our website, to be more user friendly. It's got a lot more information from 3 years ago when I started. We need to start sending people more often to check out our social media.
You mentioned website, is it?
Excuse me, and website.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
assuming this would be something they would do during work hours, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who would take the lead on this?
Well, that's hard to say, because it's all of the staff.
Yeah. Who's gonna check in and see if they're interacting?
Well, I would say eventually it would be Catherine, since she's going to take over all social media.
So why don't we put Catherine, and let's give a realistic start kind of thing for this. So when would be realistic? Maybe a few weeks from now?
She has so much on her plate coming. I would give her a month or so.
Okay. So maybe,
to be fair,
maybe 6 weeks.
6 weeks seems like a fair number.
Okay. What else needs to be done to increase visibility and awareness?
So I would like, and talk about a word that's overused. Silo is overused, but it's kind of applicable. We've gotten a lot better than we used to, but I want every single person across the board to be able to speak towards all of our programs every time there's interaction. So, yes, we all have our specific programs, but it's important to promote all programs.
So are you saying that you need to help with education of everyone involved?
Yeah, so we have a lot of new staff, and but honestly, even some people that have been here a while.
Yeah. I agree.
I want everybody to have their elevator speech for all of our programs down pat. So, if you're in the grocery store and someone asks you something, you'll be able to say, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Maybe one of our goals should be that when we are doing staff meetings, we each lead for a program kind of takes the floor to take a moment to kind of update and educate the rest of the staff on what it is that they're doing or what it is that the grant is requiring, so that we could all kind of have our, not only are we all informed, but now we are actively paying attention to what needs need to be met.
Yeah. And I think to go one step further, sort of that teach back thing, you might hear what I'm saying, but you might not hear what I'm saying. So just to make sure that everybody is comfortable in it. And that's maybe a little bit, I don't want to use the word, like, I almost want everybody to be able to stand up in front of the rest of us and explain the program and then have the opportunity to say, you know what, that's not quite what we do. Maybe say it this way.
I think
I really like that
great
suggestion
idea.
because when I'm, interacting with people at health events or even when they call in, I'll be like, yeah, we do have, A, B, and C, but I can really only tell you about a few. So that would really help. I mean, I've been here for years, but that would really help me fully understand what is going on in each program so I could be better equipped to help not only my tobacco clients, but other people as well. So
yeah, it's a great idea, especially when we have to sub in for a meeting or something like that. Then
Yeah.
you're not going to stress out about, oh my God, I don't want to volunteer because I don't know what to say. You're going to feel comfortable volunteering to step in for that person. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Yeah. And I realize everybody has different comfort
Say
levels.
the word explain, or do you want each one that's over those programs to give a report? In other words, what's current, what's going on with this program? I mean, be like any staff meeting in which if someone is in a particular area, they're giving an update so that everybody knows what's going on in everybody else's program because they've been given current updates in the staff meetings, as opposed to explain.
That's part of it for sure. But part of it is just making sure that there's a solid understanding. So if Ambria is tobacco program and she's funded 100% by tobacco, but she also answers the phone and she might be out and about somewhere because we're all community members, right? And she might run across someone who needs healthcare insurance. So I would like to actually have Calandra, for instance, do a mock sign up. So the rest of us who aren't intimately involved with that program would be able to speak to it a little bit better. And then I would like to have, for instance, and I'm using Ambria as an example, but this applies to everybody, Ambria to stand up and say, you know what, here's my elevator speech on the Navigator program. And this is what it does. And this is how I can help you. And then the rest of us comment back and say, well, that's not quite it. Maybe try saying it this way, or, just those nuances. Because I want her to be comfortable.
I think that's great.
I think that's great too.
Mm-hmm.
That's great too. And that will absolutely help me with my nervousness. Like I can absolutely talk all day about a subject that I know, but if, somebody asks me about a program that I have nothing or know nothing about, then I'm fumbling over my words and trying to find something to say. So that will I'm all for this mock training, role playing, cross training. I'm all for it. So
me too. I think it's a fantastic idea because of the fact that almost all of our staff will attend at one point or another a health fair or some type of event. And I think this is great. I think this is fantastic.
Good.
Let's do it.
So let's kind of back up a little bit because these are all great ideas. How soon can heads of programs during staff meetings start talking about their programs in a way that helps others understand?
I would also almost make a special meeting for this. And I'm going to say realistically, it's going to be after July 1 because we're all running around like crazy trying to get our year end stuff done.
Yeah.
So, this is so important that I would set time aside
So
for it.
maybe around the middle of the month, like say the 15th, I don't know,
Yeah.
but middle of the month. Okay, who's going to be the lead on that, making sure that in each of these?
Maybe the 16th, when the reports are done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, can we do it like July 30th or we need
That's fine. So who would be heading this up, making sure that that I guess that you have different people who would be organizing this?
This is an office assistant thing, in my opinion.
Okay, so
yeah,
even you know, Jill or one of our new people who really needs this overarching look at things.
Okay, so Jill, you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Great. What about the mock meeting with role playing? Would this be in the same place or would it be different? So you're going to want to have time for people to process what they've heard about the programs and then practice. So when would you do the mock meetings with role playing? I'm assuming that would be later than July 30th.
I would think that we shouldn't wait too long.
Yeah, I mean, I see this being, I feel like July 30th is the final date. As you said, I see this rolling out, you know, in a stepwise process.
Okay. So you think that by July 30th, all of these things are kind of connected and could be accomplished?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think all of it?
Well, no. So what this is okay, no.
I kind of see it. Okay, if I can just add my 2 cents, I see it like a series, like an educational series. So we have the July 30th is the target date. So all the program managers get up, give their speech, talk about their program. The rest of us, while we are in the audience, we're listening, we're taking notes, we're observing, we're absorbing and mentally preparing. And then we assign next week at such and such time, it'll be Ambria, then Yolanda, and then maybe we'll figure out in that window how many we can get in the time allotted for that meeting. Maybe it'll be 2 per week. Because I see it as an educational series. If we wait too long, I'll forget everything. Because
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I also think when the heads of programs are talking about their programs, you need to give people an opportunity to ask questions about the program.
Yeah. So I see this being, so, you know, for instance, I would tag Kristen to talk all about the scholars, and we would go through the, you know, application process, and then like a week later, we would have a roundtable, you know, and when Kristen is talking about the scholars, then we're all asking questions at the time. And then, you know, I think if we go around the room and have different people explain it, then it solidifies it more as well.
I'm super excited about this idea. I think this is fantastic. This is the best idea that I mean, it's all great, but this to me is going to be the most beneficial to everything that we do.
Is everyone getting an Amber Alert right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No singers though. Nobody has to sing because it was silent.
Yeah. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like this idea has been talked about here and there, you know, especially from Allison, wanting us to be cross-trained. But at least, we're moving towards something as having an elevator pitch for each program or for Big Bend AHEC overall. So I'm so excited about this.
This is a really good idea. So Jill, would you also be doing the mock meeting? You would just be, I'm assuming you would be coordinating and organizing each of these steps, right? These 2 steps?
Yeah, however works best for everybody. Like we'll talk about it, discuss it with Allison, Calandra, everybody, see how it goes, and then take it from there.
Great. When do you think you would be able to have all stakeholders able to provide information about programs to others?
I think that we should look at the calendar, pick a day. That Fridays usually are the least busy for us as a group, and pick a day and a time. And Jill, now that everyone's sharing their calendar, I'll help you, Jill, just so you know, because I know that you're new. I'll help you. I'll work with you to help organize this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to say then at each board meeting, we're going to have like 2 random staff present to the board. So
I love it. That's a great idea. Then you're involving lots of other stakeholders.
Right. And so, you know, it's important for everybody to be on the same page. And they'll be short. I mean, they're elevator speeches.
Yeah. Elevator speeches are 30 seconds, you know.
Oh, is that the time frame we shoot, like under a minute?
I would say under a minute.
Okay.
I think most elevator speeches are 30 seconds or less, but I think for the purpose of this and you're educating people, it's really 1 minute.
Well, and then on top of that, you know, be able to answer any, you know, not off the wall questions, but, you know,
basic
questions.
Okay.
When might you start with the board meetings and who would be the responsible lead on that? Like who would pick the 2 staff members?
I will.
Allison?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
That's all right. And then when will you start doing the board meetings, do you think?
We can do it. So our next board meeting is in August, right around the 6th. I don't have the calendar in front of me, but you know, we could do one then.
Okay.
And we meet 4 times a year. So
perfect. Just let me know what that date is.
The 3rd.
Okay.
The 3rd.
You might want to back these 2 up just a couple of days then to accommodate. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say just back this up. And I think it's very reasonable to do this just a tiny bit earlier than planned in July.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yep.
Then it'll be fresh in everyone's mind too.
Well, and you know, in the follow-up, this needs to happen periodically as well, you know.
Now, if you start kind of infusing it in your culture, I think it'll be great. And then people are much more willing to talk about things when they know about them, right? And so not everybody knows about every program and can speak intelligently about it. And so this will help that, and it'll help with visibility. Anything else under this kind of overarching goal of increasing visibility and awareness?
I was really thinking a lot larger. Maybe we need to do marketing. And I know we are very limited on time. There's only another 30 minutes. So we can just put marketing and I don't know exactly how we would approach that, but I was thinking much more big picture than just our staff, because our staff of 15 and the outreach from there could have some impact, but I think we need to do something more robust.
Yeah.
Although
that becomes difficult because then, you know, because we're fettered by our grants, how do we, you know, who pays for what? Because tobacco does tobacco marketing, Navigator does tobacco, you know, so that is a big question.
Right, but if we could include our brand with every bit of that, then that would help get us out there. And you know, so if we could include whatever our brand is, you know, our nice logo and some kind of just do it, something that would really resonate with people.
We have to come up with the very, very catchy, a simple tagline.
Right. Yeah, we need that.
But in that marketing that you're talking about, I think that we have to bring the whole staff together and really work on, because I'm in these meetings all day long every day, and sometimes with multiple staff of our own team. And if I don't chime in about check out our social media, check out our website, it's not happening. And that has to be staff wide. It has to be everyone, because it can't just fall on one person. I'm not in everything. So that needs to be one way that we can help market who we are, what we do, funnel people to our social media and website.
Yeah. All right. So let's just leave it as improved marketing and branding to be determined. I think you have enough right now around the bigger bucket goal of increasing visibility and awareness. And I'm sure these strategies that you're going to be developing are going to help you think of other ways as well. What's another kind of big goal for Big Bend AHEC? What's another goal outside of improving visibility and awareness?
I have a personal goal, but I don't know how attainable it is. The goal that I wish that we could do is somehow figure out a way to tap into the Hispanic residents of North Florida. And it has been something I have wanted to do since starting at AHEC, but it's Tallahassee and the surrounding area is unlike South Florida.
Yeah.
There is not a Latino neighborhood or a Latino community per se, but they're out there.
Yeah, there are a lot out here. There are a lot.
I've just been unsuccessful with finding the gatekeepers to that community.
Yeah.
And that is a goal.
I think that's a great goal. So expand outreach to Hispanic communities. But I know it's more challenging than in some areas. When would you like to kind of tackle starting on that?
Well, I mean, immediately. I mean, I have an event coming up. You know, I have an event coming up next weekend in Quincy that is specifically targeting the Latino community. But I think that the best time to strike, and I know this is way, way out, but during Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes.
Hispanic Heritage Month is the one time a year that all these things start to pop up. So September, it goes from September 15th to October 15th. And that would include their, you know, so when I think Hispanic population, immediately everyone in North Florida thinks of Quincy.
Right.
However, to expand it, FAMU, FSU, TCC, Kaiser, you have Latino students that they all fall under the umbrella of needing services like what we provide.
Well, and you also have them graduate and stay here and they're working and and they need access and you know, they still need the same access. So I agree. But I like the idea of, you know, obviously starting immediately, but really focusing on the Hispanic Heritage Festival, the Hispanic awareness. What is the name of the month?
Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes, thank you.
Perhaps maybe I could work with you with my scholars on that as well.
Ah,
I have a new scholar that speaks 3 languages. One is Spanish.
excellent.
And also my, when my husband was at FSU, they've got the Spanish table. The students usually meet together. Well, pre-COVID, I don't know if they do now, but we had Russian table, they had Spanish table where they'd always get together. And so you've got them all in a group and you might be able to kind of meet with them or at least, you know, share the services with them.
So Kristen, is it okay if I put you next to Yolanda to help her?
Sure.
Great.
No, I just want to do a quick check-in because we're talking about this. Nobody else on staff has a hidden Spanish language skill.
Ah, good question.
Additional language.
That's a good question.
I just have my hidden Russian language.
Okay.
And I have the one scholar that's fluent in Spanish and French.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, maybe we need to engage that scholar. Yeah, like you just said, engage that scholar with our outreach.
She'd be great. She's one of our new ones that we just added.
Perfect.
I'd like to talk with her because I'm not dismissing that she's bilingual, but I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
People tell me they're bilingual and I am bilingual. And then I go to exchange words and they speak high school textbook.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I understand that.
For sure.
You know, a language person myself. So, but yeah. I think she's also from Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, then you don't have to say anymore.
Everything. Miami.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to introduce her to you, Yolanda. I think she'd be great for.
Right, that'd be awesome.
She's doing the pop-up preschool event that we're doing with the whole child.
That's awesome. Maybe she can help me with the Quincy event.
Sure.
So I would actually, I guess, like to hear from the board about what some of these. I mean, I want to develop a diversified revenue stream because, you know, that's just sort of our long-term planning. But I'm having trouble, I guess, conceptualizing that a little bit. And you can't put a date on that because that's just really hard. I mean,
oh, but you can put a start date on it, right? So you can say within 60 days, you're going to, you know, have made progress toward developing a diversified revenue stream. Maybe you've gotten, you know, a grant that's outside of the scope of where you normally would have your funding or, you know, and so I do think you can put a date to start some of these activities.
Yeah, so I mean, I started 3 years ago on this. It's just one of those constant, it's just something that is really, like Yolanda has her goal,
Yeah.
and this is one of ours, or
So-
mine.
I would like to hear from the board members as well, but Allison, when you think about developing a diversified revenue stream, what are some of the things that you're thinking would be strategies toward that goal?
Well, so we are all now, right now, well, okay, strategies toward the goal. Right now, all of our funding is tied directly to grants, and so we had talked a little bit about, the board and myself had talked about maybe not a position that is funded by grants, but something out of our savings, because it's almost like you have to build it and they will come type of thing. Which I'm probably not articulating very well right now, but it's just someone to be able to have the bandwidth to look for these opportunities, develop these opportunities.
Grant writer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you mean? Like having a grant writer or someone to do the research on different funding sources? We used to have a position like that.
I have ideas. It's just having someone to help me flush those out and do the work.
Yeah, the work, because you're so busy. I know you are.
By the way, one of our new scholars also is a grant writer. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, but we could also hire grant writers. There
I
are
would totally do that.
companies that could do that. So we could either hire a scholar or we could hire somebody to research and do that for you. And you just give them the ideas that you're looking for, and then just pay them out of MRNE.
I think that's a great idea, Desiree.
Yeah, we don't have the time. All of us are incredibly overloaded because we're just still short-staffed. So if we could just hire somebody else to do that and then enjoy the fruits of their labor when they bring in the funding, yay.
An agenda item, Allison,
Bring in
meeting. Allison,
grant writers.
this could be an agenda item for the next board meeting.
Say that again, Karen. What did Karen say?
She'd like that for it to be an agenda item for the next board meeting.
Okay. What I was saying is that good grant writers, and I've worked with many grant writers, they bring in their salary times, 3, 4, 10.
Yeah.
They very quickly are able to secure funding that pays for their salary and then some.
What I thought I heard Allison saying was looking maybe at other revenue streams that aren't grant-based, as that I'm not sure what you had in mind, but as opposed to having more grants with, deliverables and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, so and thank you, John, for asking about that. That's also true. So, for instance, I would love to stand up a community health worker training program. And, I feel like we have the knowledge to do that. I just currently don't have the time right now to do that outreach and to, I have the curriculum, I have, we've been talking about it. It's just someone to sit down and say, to develop a plan for it. The same with.
Did you call that a community healthcare? What did you call it?
A community health worker, CHW.
Got
it. That's one of my ideas, expanding what we do for, we mostly do continuing education credits for our partners. And I don't know if there's a lot of money to be had in that, but that would be something else that I would like to do. you know, I would like to have a stronger partnership with the AAAs because, you know, the aging associations, because, you know, those are fee for service classes and not tied to a grant. So for each one of those classes we can do, you know, we could make money.
Yeah.
Those are, CEU is one thing, and then classes through a AAA partnership is another.
Now, what would you be doing with CEUs?
So if an entity needs continuing, and we do this for free for our partners because it's just kind of a nice thing. But you know, if someone was doing a conference and they wanted to provide continuing education units, they'd come in and say, hey, can you do this for us? And we'd say, sure, it's going to be XYZ money.
These are great ideas. When do you think it would be feasible to at least look at some of these things?
I mean, like I said, all these ideas are ongoing. So I think, you know, after, I would love to talk to the board about that, or even our, you know, our employees, if they have some ideas about, you know, we're getting ready to, we've just hired some people and, you know, we could open it up and maybe hire some more. It's just, I guess, and this is the strategic plan, but I guess within all of these, there might need to be a strategic plan as well.
Do you currently work with area agency on aging?
We do.
Okay, great.
Well, it went kaput with COVID, but it's starting to come up again. You know,
Good.
It's starting to heat up again.
Yeah. Do you know Lisa Bretz?
I do know Lisa. She's
my Leadership Academy graduates.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she sends a staff member every year through the academy, so she's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, we just added a lot to your plate, and I'll just kind of leave it as around October, you're going to start working on some of these things, although you're going to add the grant writer and researcher to the next agenda item, which would be in August. But the rest of the things, due to the lack of time and you know, staff currently, are just kind of vague, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's find another goal. Does someone else have a goal that is outside of these two things that we can capture? Calandra, your audio's on. Are you thinking of something or?
Yes, well, actually, the information that Allison was mentioning, I know we kind of briefly discussed that, but more than likely, I'll be working with her, especially on the community health worker program.
Okay.
That's something that we were kind of briefly discussing, and just like she's saying, just needing that direction or just more discussion on diversified revenue. I think that's a major theme for the both of us. Once we get, you know, through the year-end stuff and in the beginning of the grant year, get that settled and try to focus on more of that. So that's really pretty much where I'm at with that. And then earlier with the expanding outreach to communities.
Yeah.
And I know we do have several communities, but also like Jill and I, it was weird. We were discussing the Indian community. So she can have outreach to them as well, because that's a population throughout our region that we haven't really reached out to. So I wanted to kind of use her skill set to really reach out to the Indian population.
For sure, that's great. And so that would be you and Jill?
Yes.
Any other populations that you are looking to reach more?
That's something really ongoing.
Okay.
I guess as we develop like a community health worker program and just we probably need to survey more with our partners and critical hospitals. I know Allison, we talked about that as well. Once we get more surveys with our partners or communities, the leads from the communities, that would give us a better idea of who we need to reach.
Have you already developed a survey?
No, we haven't. We really just discussed that. I was just discussing it with Allison just the other day. I believe that was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. To just, and you know, it's kind of like you know, we have the community needs assessment that all the communities do, but it's almost like that's not
enough.
Not enough.
Okay, so it would be beyond the needs assessment.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be your goal in that survey? And I love the idea of doing a survey. What would be your goal?
I guess for me, just to communicate, just to hear, maybe more so through the programs. We can start there with the clients that we're seeing through our programs. I'm just thinking out loud right now. It could be a different way, but just basically getting it from the boots on the ground or the people that may not necessarily or normally have a voice, some kind of way to reach the populations that we haven't reached out to, and just to hear their thoughts and so forth.
Is it to hear about their thoughts about your programs, or is it something else? Okay.
The programs and their needs, what they perceive their needs to be. Like as it relates to programs and what we're offering or that we may need to consider offering.
Yeah.
This is Cindy, and I strongly support that direction. I think we all who are engaged in community initiatives and such, and I've heard community members say, you know, you guys come and do what you guys want to do, yes, but how do you really know what we need, want, or want you to do? Yeah. And I think any time that we can get direct input from the communities that we are reaching out to, and I agree that the survey, you know, that gives us information, but I don't know how we could get into focus groups, yeah, or just opportunities to say, is what we are planning to do consistent with what those communities and or populations in those communities really need and want. I think that's a really great direction to go.
I agree completely, Cindy and Calandra. I think this is a really good idea. When do you think you could work on developing the survey?
Probably, we can probably finish quicker than this, but I'm going to give myself at least 3 months with everything that's going on and just the limited staff right now. I just want to be realistic. My goal is hopefully sooner, but I just want to be realistic.
Sure. So 10th of September approximately? Yeah, approximately. Okay. Always good if you beat it. That's fine. And okay, you know, these things are just guidelines too. Obviously you have other priorities. What other board members, do you have some feedback before we kind of wrap up? Anything you'd like to see staff doing toward goals that align with the things that we came up with so far, the mission, the vision, the values, the DEI statement? Any feedback you'd like to give?
Gabrielle, this is Les. I did want to jump in, and I know we started out with strategic priorities and didn't really go down that pathway. I think having buckets may help us here. I think these are great things that have been discussed, but I'm not sure they're all the things that keep us from saying fulfilling our mission or getting to, you know, ultimately our vision. And it might be nice to think about what buckets of things, you know, for example, and, you know, I know many members of the board are very much aware of this, not all staff may be, that it used to be Big Bend AHEC was something much larger than our tobacco program and small grants, that some of the other things that we were doing were much more about access and health education in a broader construct. And it may be that again, spending some time thinking about how we round out the portfolio activities we do. that may or may not get us less grant dependent, but it may help us think about how we get to some of, again, fulfilling our mission, getting to that larger vision. So it's often painful to put things in buckets. You know, at the university, we put them in terms of, you know, research, service, and education. Not all important things on the planet fit into those three buckets, but it may be helpful in making sure we're not missing something big.
Okay, Les, what are some ideas you have for buckets?
Yeah, that's great for me. I just did my bucket by bringing up the buckets. I don't have specific things, and I don't necessarily, you know, it's more about how do we round out the portfolio of Big Bend AHEC activities to be sure that we are lining up to meet our mission and vision. So thinking again, kind of, you know, sequentially and logically along those things. It's always good to have the brainstorm and the free flowing kinds of ideas we're having. I don't want to take us away from that, but I also think we've got to maybe step back and think about what things might be missing. And money is clearly one, and it's always an issue, but it's the strategic part too.
All right, that's good feedback. Does anyone have ideas about what buckets we need for strategic priorities and in the last few minutes that we're wrapping up?
So there's many of our board members have been here longer than me, and Les just touched upon something about what Big Bend AHEC used to be. And I guess I'd like to hear more about that. So, you know, you said, I heard you say something, you know, about the healthcare access. I guess what activities did we used to do that we're no longer doing would be my question surrounding that.
So without pretending to be an expert, because there are actually several members of the board who know way more about this than me, when I worked at the Florida Department of Health for many centuries, you know, we were the funders for part of that, and as was the federal funding. And it was about, again, more workforce development. And if you looked at some of the things Gabrielle pointed out, when we looked at Alaska and some of the other states, they're still doing those things in much larger amounts. And in Florida, we stumbled in a good way on tobacco funding, and it sort of redefined what AHEC is. You know, and again, not in a necessarily a bad way. I have a huge part of my career based on tobacco and tobacco dependency. So I don't mean to say that's a bad idea. Then I have to give up the last 30 years of my work. But it's about how do you round out that portfolio and do other things. And there may be some opportunities around some of those things. There may not be. But it's worth that conversation. And I'm suggesting, much like Karen had, that we had some of that conversation around buckets and some of those things at an upcoming board meeting. Not that we go past 5 o'clock here, because people will throw more than just nasty.
We're not going past 5. That's not my style. I say we end at 5, we end at 5, but I like that idea. So I took some notes about some of the things you said, and maybe you could put it on your August board meeting to discuss those buckets a little bit more. And then it'll help staff as well with their goals. You know, I think obviously you're already working on goals and you're kind of overwhelmed right now with goals. But this would be something to work toward. And I think we've done a really good job today. I'd actually, if it's okay with you, like to go back through everything in the last few minutes that we have together, and just kind of go back through everything and point out the work that everybody has done so far. Because I definitely don't want to end on a note of we got to hurry up and get off of here. So you came up with your mission to provide health education and promote partnerships to improve community health, focusing on underserved rural and minority populations. Your vision, to be the driving force toward optimal health for a thriving, kind, and equitable global community. With regard to DEI, Big Bend AHEC celebrates diversity and embraces the unique perspectives of all community members as we endeavor to improve health in the Big Bend. For values, we came up with, well, I'll delete all this other stuff. We came up with Big Bend AHEC, bold, integrity, genuine, boundless, excellence, nourishing, deliberate, accessible, holistic, evidence-based community. And then, of course, we discussed priorities and came up with some goals as well. So I think that we should, at this point, just give you all a round of applause. Seriously, you did a great job. Everyone did a great job. Your voices matter. So many really wonderful contributions people made, and I just can't thank you enough. I am super excited for what you came up with so far. And from my experience with this, it's actually pretty easy for a staff to pick up with this new mission and vision and values to kind of move forward with the goals. But I also like what Les was saying about having the strategic priorities. And I think the board would do well to kind of have a little brainstorming session in your next meeting and work together and come up with those buckets, which will further help you develop your goals. What do you think? How's everyone feeling?
Yeah,
right.
I think a lot of that is really good. And I hope you forgive me. I just can't help myself. And Miss Allison, I hope you forgive me. I just want to say, you know, Les, I know that you really remember those days when we had a big round portfolio, but before Miss Allison, AHEC had dwindled a little bit, and Miss Allison has fluffed it up a good bit. She's added the DEEP and the diabetes program, the CEUs, the navigator programs. She's done a lot, and then she brought on Yolanda, who has done tremendous outreach, and we didn't really have somebody to promote us like that before. So I know we did struggle under Dr. Thomas, we did, and you know, the two other staff that were here with that situation, they can absolutely testify. But Miss Allison has done a lot to bring us past that, and she's just got great insight, and she brought in the North Highland projects, which have given us a lot of MR&E, and so I have to say, she has already, in the short time that she's been here, done a lot to promote us and to expand us. And I know that she would love to hear your ideas, because I think we do want that. We do want to take our little Tallahassee office and just take over these 14 counties. We really, really do. We have a passion for people, and that's why we're here. And she has that heart. She's a nurse at heart, and nurses care, and that's what she wants to do. And I feel like we are well on our way, but we just need more equipping ourselves to get there. We need the equipping of like more staff and a better structure to help give us that firm foundation, so that all of our staff feel equipped, empowered. And maybe we just need to kind of like focus internally before we take it externally. But I do have to say we're on our way.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was well said, Desiree.
Yes.
I want to say, as a facilitator, Desiree, when you were speaking, I was watching everybody's body language, and their hearts all just kind of showed through, like everybody was agreeing with what you were saying. And so clearly, this is a phenomenal team. It's a diverse team with diverse skills and a compassionate heart. Everybody has a compassionate heart. So I just want to say what a pleasure it's been to work with all of you. Truly talented, amazing, intelligent, innovative people making a real difference in our community. So I just want to thank you all so much. And Desiree, thank you for speaking up. And it's really evident to me that everybody was in agreement with what you were saying, and that's great. And I know the board feels the same way. It's just always nice to hear when internally you know that people are supporting their leader. It makes a big difference. I've served on boards, and I can tell when I'm on a board that doesn't support its leader either. So this is just, I think you have the synergy and the team to really take it to the next level.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you all so much for your participation. And I'm just so grateful to everybody for this time, and just like everybody had such wonderful contributions. I'm just so humbled, and I feel the love. I love y'all. Okay. Yay.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Any other final thoughts or comments before we sign off?
I want to say it was great meeting some of the board members. I've seen your names. I've not ever met all of you, so it's great.
I think another thing I would like to say as a board member is just how much we appreciate all of you. And by virtue of the fact that we're here, I hope that we have shown you that we do appreciate you. Everything that you do. Yeah. Because we do. So I just wanted to express that.
You are definitely not that Karen. Thank you. Yes, kind Karen. Awesome. And it does make a difference when you know the board supports your staff. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I was really impressed that they were willing to be in the meeting from 1 to 5 and they all stayed and participated. To me, I've only been here with AHEC for a year, but that really, really impressed me that they really care and they want to hear what we have to say. So I think that's great.
I agree completely. It speaks to their leadership. So
the board is awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good work. Well, thank you so much, everybody. One more round of applause for yourselves. Truly, everyone was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
Oh yeah. Safe travels, guys.